On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined in studio by our good friend Justin Gaard. He works at KFAN, does sideline reporting for Gopher Football. He's on Fox 9, all sorts of other stuff. Great time with Gaardsy, as always. We also go into our bits of the week and end the show with a little new game called What's It Called? You know, bags versus cornhole, pop versus soda. It's all the terminology that seems to get people all riled up. So all of that and more on It's a Bit.
To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Ball full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by Wags, journalist Jake, and a guest producer. We got Josie here. Josie helps write about the disappointing Twins. He also contributes to the 10K Bets account, and he's the guest producer. Josie, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, boys. Glad to be back. Thanks, Cameron, for having to go to your meeting to drink beer at bars for however long. So
So Cam is a demolition derby driver.
Yes, I think that's what you call him.
And he claimed, I don't think we had this conversation on the show. I think it was before last week. He goes, "Boys, I can't make it on the pod next week." And we're like, "Why? Like, none of us ever miss this." He's like, "You guys are going to give me shit, but I have a demolition derby meeting." And Jake was like, "So you guys just sit down and talk about crashing into each other?" And he was like, "Yeah, pretty much." So that's what Cam's up to.
He said it in all seriousness. I have a demolition derby meeting. So I'm thinking like, is it like a conference center, community center? Then he mentioned it was at a bar. I'm like, so it's like a happy hour.
So you're
just
you're
drink
just drinking
and talking about running into cars, and you might do that for 5 minutes. You're just having meet-up, get-together, which is fine, but don't call it a demolition derby meeting.
Don't
call it a
to
meeting.
That would just be like me. I'm going out on Saturday night telling my parents, I'm going out for a business meeting with my friends.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
Because we do talk about 10K when we're drunk at bars. Is that a business meeting?
if going to bars is constituted as a meeting, then I sit in meetings 7 days a week.
Yeah, me
We're,
too.
we're the king of meetings.
Yeah.
We're meeting right now. This is a podcast meeting.
I have meetings on Monday through Friday, and then I also meet on Saturdays and sometimes Sunday after hockey in the parking lot until 1 a.m.
My whole life is productive. I'm always in meetings just trying to improve something, I guess.
The grind don't ever stop. You know, that's what they say, the entrepreneurial mindset.
Well, what do you really need to meet about when it comes into to crashing into each other? Like, I mean, at this point, they're all experienced derby drivers. I'm not sure what they're even meeting about.
And if I know this culture well, I'd safely assume that they have demolition derby meetings after the actual derbies, where they sit around a fair or wherever they go and just hammer beers. At least from what I've heard that Cam says. So.
Oh yeah, and Cam was at the Morgan Wallen concert in Chicago last weekend. I guarantee you, at least 50% of the meeting is also went to that concert. Yes.
Yeah, dude. If we need a time clock here, Cam is really racking up the overtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's having a lot of meetings about demolitions.
Cam, I hope the demolition derby's going well. But before we get into bit of the week, I have my Loons update. Actually, a pretty beefy one for this week. So the Loons just signed forward Teemu Pukki, I think is how you pronounce his name, to a contract through 2025. Which former It's a Bit guest producer, Andy, described on Twitter today as, quote-unquote, an absolutely massive signing. Not a big signing, not a great signing, not a good signing, an absolutely massive signing. So that's about as far as my research went. I trust Andy when it comes to soccer because that motherfucker is up at 7 a.m. on Sundays watching it on one of his days off from work. So, yeah. What do we think of the signing, fellas?
I like it only because Teemu Pukki, or however you say it, that sounds like a hockey player.
It does.
It's a good. If I was a hockey name, I'd be like, we're getting a good player here.
Teemu Pukki, yeah. But I know he knows allegedly a lot about soccer, but I still don't trust his judgment. I mean, he picks. Whenever we do our golf pools, like he gets very confident on guys. Like it's not that I'm just gonna half-ass and pick a couple golfers. He picks some players that he's very high on, and they end up shitting the bed.
Well, he picked in this U.S. Open poll we did a few weeks ago. He picked Justin Thomas first overall.
Yeah,
overall. And if you don't watch golf week to week, he's playing some of the worst. Other than this last weekend, he's playing some of the worst golf in his life. I think he was in like the bottom 20. He got cut like basically by Thursday in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he was done. And so and Andy's judgment about hockey players, like Kyle Rao being on his Mount Rushmore of Minnesota hockey players, and he watches a lot of hockey, and he claims to be a big fan. I know he's a big soccer fan or football fan, as he maybe would get pissed off at me saying. But I don't know if I trust him in saying when this is a massive signing. But although Teemu Pukki is an awesome name, so hopefully does well for the Loons.
And really quick, if you're ever out there at 6 a.m. tweeting about soccer, please specify what team you're cheering for.
Yeah.
I see so many tweets by Andy saying, horrible, horrible mistake, and I have no clue what he's even talking about because it's 6 a.m. on a Tuesday and there's no sports going on where I live.
Correct. Yeah.
Is he even talking about soccer at that point? Did he get someone pregnant? What happened? That's what I don't get it.
Yeah, so Andy, we need a little more analysis on this one, but please be specific with your soccer tweets. Also, a fun fact about Teemu Pukki is he's a Finnish footballer, which makes the Loons start calling our own state Finnesota. So that's where the great debate starts. Is it Finnesota or what the Wild call it, Mini Sweden?
So back in the day when the Wild actually had a lot of Finnish players on their team, Koivu, Granlund, there was a few others, they actually called it Finnesota.
Okay.
But that's not applicable anymore, is it? I mean, how many Finns are even on the Minnesota Wild these days? None?
Definitely more Swedes. I don't know if there's any more Finns on the team.
We kicked them all out of the state.
Also, how many Finnish guys are on the Loons?
That has to be. I haven't even.
There has to be at least 2 for them to say that, or this is a wildly outrageous claim.
Finland, I feel like it's in Europe. They got to have enough like guys playing soccer where they're, not as good enough to be in the European League that you can.
I'm
play
searching
for Minnesota.
Right now, I just searched what is Finland's most popular sport. Guess what pops up?
Ice hockey.
Ice hockey.
Oh, it's hockey. Yeah. I would assume it's like downhill skiing number 2 or something. all those countries up there in Europe, I just assume I think of skiing.
The Nordic region or whatever.
Yeah, I think of all the mountains. I think of all the hot blonde women who ski down the slopes wearing all red, and it's good vibes up there in the north part. So,
dude, I did look up I don't know if this is the exact list, but I looked up list of Minnesota Wild hockey players from Finland, and all of them are no longer on the Wild. Like Koivu, Granlund, Capo Kakinen, Antti Laaksonen, of course, Erik Haula, Nicholas Backstrom, Antti Miettinen.
But at a certain time, there was 8 Finns on the team.
Yeah, because you got to think of Nicholas Backstrom, Erik Haula, Capo Kakinen, Mikael Granlund. Koivu actually played with Antti Laaksonen, which is weird to think about.
So going back to the original debate here, I think before you call it Finnesota, you need more Finnish players on the Loons than Wild players on
Swedish players in the
Swedish
Wild.
players in the Wild.
I got you.
Mini Sweden, which I got to imagine that we have way more Mini Swedens than we have Finnesotans, right?
At this point, yes. I don't know the makeup of the Loons roster.
I know. I can Google it. Let's Google it here.
But the Wild have what? Is it 7 Swedes? Or I know Klingberg's probably gone, but with Klingberg, technically,
I've actually heard of this guy. We have Rasmus Schuler.
Okay, that's one.
He's part of the Finland national team. He's currently on the Loons, I believe.
Okay.
Unless this is like an old website page, but it's from the MNUFC page.
Did you see we had someone tweeted us today to make Loons merch, by the way.
True. Well, now we gotta make
2023.
Maybe it's Finnesota and it's like with Loon colors.
Let's make a Teemu Pukki shirt.
I don't even know if he.
We need to make flags too, because everyone at those games has a fucking flag.
Yeah.
So just make a 10K flag. Fuck it.
Yeah. Anything else, Jake?
I'm trying to see. Okay, I see box. I need to see.
We're gonna safely assume that there's more Swedes on the Wild than
Finns on the.
I just want to see.
There's 2. There sounds like there's 2 Finns on the Loons right now.
I wasn't seeing any data for Rasmus Schuler for the 2023 season.
Well, we better get some.
So maybe he's in the minors if that exists in soccer. I don't know if it does.
I just wish. I found the roster, but it doesn't tell me where they're from, which is so dumb.
Well, that's the MLS's fault.
You know what? Here's what we'll do.
Okay. I think I got it now. 2023, perfect. Okay, so one of our goalkeepers is from Canada.
Okay.
That's not what we're looking for.
I know. So we have
Canada's not really good at keeping the smoke out of their country right now.
So are we trying to determine how many players are from Sweden or Finland?
Finland on the Loons.
Finland on the Loons. Okay, so he's one from Sweden. New Zealand, nice. South Sudan. Jeez.
Tell us the Finnish ones,
Okay,
Jake.
Finnish. Robin Lod.
That's one.
Teemu Pukki.
There's 2.
That's it.
So 2 of them.
Rasmus Schuler's gone.
If you add the 1 Swedish player from the Loons to the Minnesota Wild Swedes, there's more Swedes.
Yeah, there's
Minnesota.
Currently on roster at the Wild, I think there's 7 Swedes.
Yeah, Mikael Marquise from Sweden.
And Pukki. So now we have 2 Swedes. So
no, Pukki's from Finland.
Or Finland, sorry. So we
have 1 Swede.
So the jury stands at Mini Sweden. It is.
Yeah.
For now.
Minnesota.
As of June 28th, 2023.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
We'll close the book on that one. Let's get into bit of the week quick. And like we mentioned, Cam is not here, but I did see that there's a bit for Cam on the sheet. And as we've mentioned in the last 3 weeks, if it's on the sheet, it has to get read on the podcast. So I don't know if he told one of you guys or he told someone else, but I see it on the sheet. So Cam's bit this week is Jake's socks bit. So he's been smelling various pairs of Jake's socks the last few weeks and describes them as quote unquote the perfect aroma. And this is according to the sheet.
Wow.
So Cam must have said
I've
it.
gotten that a lot.
That's typical Cam.
Well, no, I mean when it's written to the sheet, it's spoken into existence.
Yeah.
Cam the other day he sent me all of have you ever heard of a show called Better Call Saul?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me every single timestamp of when women's feet are in the picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's typical Cam stuff.
So feet
Really?
rule supreme. Yeah.
According
So-
to Cameron.
Okay, well,
So I think we confirmed here that Cameron has a foot fetish.
But he also likes your feet.
But he
Jake,
likes
so
my,
watch
well,
out.
maybe not my feet,
Your
but my
socks.
socks. But I think he has a foot fetish.
So
potentially.
that's what the sheet says, by the way.
Yeah, so it's true. I mean, he,
Sheet never lies.
No, it
so
doesn't.
if Cam like comes on next week, I gotta defend myself from last week's bit. So no, Cam, it was already said. It
was
done.
on the sheet.
You can
It's
defend
on
yourself.
the
So
record.
it's
the episode's been archived.
yeah. So you can just say whatever you want. You smell my socks and you enjoy the aroma.
According to the sheet.
Yeah, according to the sheet. Especially the dusty ones after softball. He really just huffs all
he
those
just,
ones.
I think he may like right when I throw him in the wash. I think right when I walk out of the room, he goes to the wash, opens them up really quick before they can even get clean, and he sniffs them.
Oh, God, yes.
That smells great. Oh my gosh.
All right, but as we mentioned, Cam is we've roasted Cam here enough for not being on the app. Cam, that's what happens when you miss the pod. Sorry, bud.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah, it happened to Jake one week. He missed it.
Yeah.
So that's what
I don't
happens
care.
when you skip the pod to drink beer. You could have drank beer with us.
Yeah, you could have been.
But we're not salty
derby
about it.
meeting here.
We're not salty about it, clearly.
We're not pissed at all.
No. But as we mentioned, we have Josie.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do fucking shit.
I think you should leave. Great show. All right. Producer Josie, guest producer Josie, since you are our guest producer, you get to read your bit first. What do you got?
All right. Well, I have the spit count bit. On Friday, us four played over at the Chaska Town Course in Chaska.
Beautiful course.
Which
by the
has
way.
long rough.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
To hide
And,
spit.
Yes, thank you, Jake. And, playing golf with these guys over the last 2.5-ish years now, I've noticed that Jake tends to spit quite a lot. And sometimes it gets on me, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really care because usually I'm half in the
Because
bag.
you like my spit, like Cam loves my
I
socks.
like
Yeah.
your spit. Oh,
Open your mouth.
Never mind. But yeah, Jake, I had you at 63 spits for 18 holes.
Wow.
Was that the first time you counted?
So, that was the first time I counted.
Okay,
and I'm sure there's
I'm
more.
curious how like it compared to past
So
data.
we can keep up with that.
Yeah, we have a
We
baseline now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, and I might keep track of more coming up here.
We'll have a mean, a mode, an average.
Yeah.
We'll have all the
left
stats.
quartile,
a
the box.
Jake, I mean, you're not chewing tobacco. You're not
Yeah.
chewing gum. What's up
Well,
with all the spitting?
I think it might honestly be related to tobacco, believe it or not, because when I for like the first summer that I started playing golf, like 18 holes, like with my dad or with you, or even started with Jack, I would chew tobacco, or I started playing with Bubba actually a little bit too, and he'd have chew, and it would relax me, and then I noticed I started chewing every time I golfed, and then I started actually wanting chew after golf. I'm like, I can't get into this habit, so I would just spit chewing tobacco on the course, and I think it's turned into also a nervous habit as well.
Yeah. Well, I
think the more I spit is the more frustrated I am.
Well,
Honestly, I'm not kidding.
I also noticed that the more beverages that you have when around the course, the more the spit increases. I believe I don't have it in front of me, but I recall it being 2 to 3 the first couple holes, 3 to 4, then around 9 to 10. It jumped up to about 5 or 6 times on the hole, and I was just counting during your during your shots.
Dude,
like
it
not
was,
even in the
it
cart.
was
just whenever you approach the ball around the tee.
Jake,
or on
that's
the greens.
bad.
it's
That
definitely we're outside.
That was fucking crazy.
Well, dude,
I think-
you spit in general too, dude. I remember we'll have like bonfires at my house, and you'll just be spitting on the pavement. My girlfriend's always yelling at you, dude, spit in the grass.
I know. I think I don't know if it comes from like baseball.
It's kind of a
or-
hockey thing. Do you guys notice how much hockey players spit? They showed I can't remember which player from the Knights during the Stanley Cup on the bench. They were doing like kind of a rundown of his stats. It was probably like a 15-second little interval, And I swear to God, he probably spit 6 or 7 times in that 15 seconds.
Imagine, like, if it's Vegas, especially, you're in the warm weather, and all of a sudden you're going into a cold rink, and you're skating as fast as you can. I imagine that has something to do with it.
Well, your
right?
mouth gets dried out.
Yeah,
same with
exactly.
booze, and you get that syrupy taste. I kind of do the same thing after I've had a lot of beer.
I think it's like a taste thing, but I think I overdo it because it's just like a habit or it's like a nervous tick or something.
Well, I think you overdo it too because I think you overthink your shot, so you have more time to address the ball, ground the club, spit.
Well, yeah, it's a habit. It's turned into like a habit forming pre-shot ritual from a combination of things, and it needs to probably go away, and then my golf game will get better.
Yep.
But I like it. I like your spit.
He likes getting spit on.
Yeah.
So.
I like it.
I like when you've done this multiple times when you're in the tee box and you just spit on your shaft of your club.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Spitting all over the shaft.
That's hot though.
I like that.
But then you go in your backswing and we just get a fucking flail of spit on us.
Well, I hope to God you're not right behind me.
Well, like to the side of you though.
Yeah.
If it goes off your club head, that's aimed right at us.
That means you have a good angle.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
Back.
then that's a good
means
thing.
Your club's open.
I think it dates back to I've always been known to spit because I spit. I think this has been discussed.
Do you do that rather than swallowing?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but legitimately in like second grade, I saw like the fifth graders playing football outside or older kids playing football, and I saw a couple, spitting because they're playing activity, but of course you look up to them as being cool, and then I turn and spit on a kid that was on the ground. I just spit right on his face, and I got in trouble and had to go to the
Fuck
principal's
you,
office.
kid.
Yeah, well, he was pissing me off though, because he was like, I don't know, he was just pissing me off, and I just spit right in his face.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do when people piss you off.
And it was like right after I was influenced by a fifth grader that I saw him spit, so I'm like, I'm gonna spit, but I'm gonna spit on this kid.
That's the most disrespectful thing you can do to another human being.
And then I remember he went immediately
Other than
told
assaulting
the teacher,
them.
Yeah.
and told the teacher. I had to get talking with the principal. My mom was her first year working at the school, so she got a whiff of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Had a whole ordeal. I was not happy just because I thought the kid was being a bitch.
Oh, there's a little bit of breaking news if you guys want to hear it.
Let's hear it.
Someone at FD Sportsbook has just placed a $5,000 bet on the Vikings at plus 4,000 to win the Super Bowl.
All
It's
right,
gonna happen.
So
They're gonna win.
$5,000 to win 20. Is that 200?
It's plus 4,000, so I don't know those odds.
Yeah, that's 200 grand.
200 grand.
When
Yeah.
winning, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a lot.
That's 20 to 1.
I don't want to have a whole conversation about the Vikings right now, but what I will say, they had a top 5 offense in the NFL last year. Now we're adding Jordan Addison. I think they could be deadly this year. That's all I'm going to say.
They could.
And they just need
They need a mid defense.
That's it.
They don't even need a good
Literally.
defense. If their offense can replicate what they did last year, they need not the worst defense in the league.
Anything better than the defense last year. Just very
Which I
minimal
think they're going to
amounts.
be better.
Yeah,
a little
despite
bit.
losing some, players.
Did you
here and
guys
there.
see? Well, that guy actually maybe should have placed his money on them at least winning the North as a little security bet, because did you guys see that the
Fuck the Lions.
the corgi
Yep.
that does all the predictions picked the Vikings to go 1. I actually think the order was pretty accurate.
I thought so, too.
The corgi.
Yeah.
If you've never seen, there's this corgi, and this guy puts these trash cans at the bottom of the stairs with each team's logo on it, and the order that the corgi makes the ball in is the 4-1 projected rankings in the division. He had the corgi also had the Wild winning the series against the Stars in 7.
We don't need to talk about
But
that.
that's
an anomaly.
That's been archived.
Yes.
But I actually really like the order the corgi chose. It chose Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears, which if you're in a reasonable world, I think could very well happen.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the Packers and the Bears and even the Lions could be really tight together in the mix. I also think the Vikings could be in the mix. It's going to be a close division, but it's kind of funny. The corgi actually picked a pretty good ranking.
I agreed with it down to every team.
Yeah. So
What else have they picked correctly? I swear there was something for...
there's a reason the dog is so popular. It's because he has picked a lot of things.
I think
correctly.
the dog did pick the Panthers over the Bruins.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
And
you're right.
maybe even over the Maple Leafs too. So, all right, the spitting bit, Jake. We'll just maybe have to duct tape your mouth or something, and maybe that'll fix it. Or you'll start oozing out of your nose though. So,
I might.
updates to come on the spit count. All right, journalist Jake. Speaking of, let's go to you. What's your bit?
Well, this has to do with golf. This is the night golf bit. So on Thursday night into Friday morning, around midnight, I should say, we participated in the Waggle Golf Hole-in-One Challenge. For the second year in a row, it was my first year. Jack, you did it last year during the fall when it was colder, but it was a lot nicer, obviously, in June, a little humid. We are now 2 for 2 for getting hole-in-ones. I somehow surprisingly sunk a hole-in-one in the last 2 minutes of our last session, so that was fantastic. Didn't even think it was mine. But after that, we went and played some night golf.
Yep.
Loggers
Trail.
At Loggers Trail, where they're hosting this, holes 1 and 9. They had it open to play night golf. We just needed to get some lit-up golf balls. Waggle had some on them, and it was an absolute blast, other than the fact that a couple of our balls the lights went out like as we hit them. But other than that, it was pretty electric, just seeing your ball go through the air or roll on the ground, depending on how well you hit it. It's a different experience. It's super fun. It's super cool. And you can actually, for the most part, actually probably find your ball a hell of a lot easier than in the middle of daylight trying to find your white ball in dark or long grass. Yeah. I remember I hit one to the right of the green on like hole 1, and it was, darker, longer grass, but could just sticks out obviously like a sore thumb. So that was awesome. And I got to say it was super fun. I'd definitely do it again. I'd play a whole 18 holes in it. I think it'd be a little frustrating at some points, but I thought it was an absolute blast.
So did they have it in 1 and 9 because of the way the floodlights were behind?
Correct. Because
and it was close.
Yeah. It's a lot tougher in complete pitch black.
Yeah.
Whereas
definitely.
at least with the floodlights from the range for the 24-hour challenge, you were somewhat able to see.
Yeah.
Because the weirdest part is like if you use like a black club head, which most drivers these days have black club heads, you don't even like see yourself hit the ball.
Know.
It's kind of based on muscle memory, which is a little goofy, but
that's scary.
It's still really cool. Shameless plug here. If you go to my Instagram at Bossman_10K, I posted one of my tee shots that Jake filmed me, and it was actually like the sickest looking shot I think I've hit in my life. So
I played with the glow in the dark balls over at Kilcarney last year. I think I got 2 shots out of it, and I broke it in fucking half.
Yeah, you have to bring like a whole pack of them if you're going to play 9 holes.
Those things don't spin. They're fucking rock solid.
Yeah.
That's probably what Cam was fucking using when he broke your driver last time, or broke his driver. When
in a combination of how he was swinging the driver.
Yeah. Combination of things.
It's a combination of things.
Yeah.
But no, it was an absolute blast. First time doing it, and you had to be careful. Like literally, you 1 second you feel like you're walking on the fairway, and then all of a sudden you step into like a little divot or almost practically into a damn bunker.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then there goes your ACL.
Yeah, into playing night golf at a 24-hour hole-in-one challenge for charity. So it's all for
It's for charity.
It's for charity. It's all for good. So if I did tear an ACL, I'd be totally happy. I'd be satisfied. But yeah, it was super fun, and hole 9 was actually crazy too because we almost couldn't find the tee box, and it was actually a hell of a lot darker when you teed off because the floodlights were kind of blocked by the hills.
Yeah.
But it was still super fun.
That's Dogleg right par 5, right?
Yeah. And there's a ton of water.
Crazy.
I forgot about that hole. There's a shit ton of water around the green. It's almost an island green.
It was like you were kind of hitting blindly because you didn't know where the green was, but it almost makes it that much more fun because it's that much more challenging. Like I'm just gonna hit the ball at this point and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of how I am during the day, but
exactly. Even during the day, I don't think I've gotten on a regulation on that damn hole.
Yeah, you have to hit a really good tee shot.
On Manning Avenue right there.
Yeah, I didn't even know where we were going. Honestly, I was just like, especially at night, like I just see hills and a little bit of the floodlights. I'm like, let's just hit my ball.
Yep.
But it was super fun, the night golf bit. I know Jack, you were mentioning that they've done like charity golf tournaments of night golf.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so fun.
I think most golf courses usually once a year would offer like some sort of night golf scramble tournament. Yeah. I know the country club up in Grand Forks where I worked in college had an annual night golf tournament, and I remember one time someone those wooden bins that you keep sand in on par 3s.
Yep.
Someone like completely destroyed that, and not even like hit it with their cart and ran over it. I think like a truck hit it. So it gets a little rowdy, safe to say, and there's very low visibility, but it can be a really fun time. So
True.
I'm just so glad I didn't get in a bunker. I'm terrified to get into a bunker during the day. At night, I would have just picked up my ball and walked off.
At night, it's even better because you hit out of no one would even know. You could just hit again.
You can just cheat in night golf.
Just by the hole.
Not for the fact of like for other people seeing me. It's just it would be brutal for me. I would just be spitting every 2 seconds. At that point, I'd be so frustrated.
When someone asks you in the future, have you ever hit a hole-in-one? What is your response going to be?
Yes.
Really?
You
after 100 balls at a driving range.
There you go. It's not a yes.
There has to be a caveat, right?
No,
you can't
it's-
just say yes. Yeah,
it's
you have
A
to.
little asterisk.
It's a
there.
yes asterisk.
There you
Yes,
go.
but.
It's a yes, but
Yes,
for
but,
sure.
Yeah.
Or kind
Yes.
of, and then you explain
Therefore,
it.
Well,
Right.
sorta.
yes, because
Because like, what if you're in top? I mean, it's the same. If you think about it, similar as Top Golf. Let's say you're aiming at a target over and over, and you finally make it. I don't
but
think
there's
anyone.
no holes at Top Golf. Technically, it's just
Technically,
one
they're-
big
well,
hole.
well,
There,
And
there,
everyone's
there
hitting home
technically
runs.
is.
There technically is.
You have to
Right.
slam dunk it because it's above the ground.
I'd argue that's harder than actual golf.
Yeah,
They
it's
hit a
much
hole in
harder.
there.
But no one who makes a hole in one in Top Golf is gonna be like, yeah, I fucking hit a hole in
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
I've seen videos on TikTok
hole in
of people trying to hit hole in ones at Top Golf at the closest target. It took one kid like an entire weekend.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just straight flop shots right there.
Pretty much.
Dunk it.
All right, Wags, what's your bet?
I got the aftershock bit. You guys know how there's an earthquake, and then give it a few seconds, and all of a sudden the aftershocks start coming. Well, this applies. We had a draft last week here on this show on It's a Bit, and our good guy producer Cam and pick one. After we laid out all the rules, like it has to be a real person. We're not doing any fictional characters. We're not doing anything that's like not like actual, like you can conceive of. Like it has to be real.
Moral, immortal beings.
Yes, yes.
People you'd want on your side in a fight.
Exactly, yes. And he chooses God with his first pick. And I'm not sure how, thinking back at it, I'm not sure how we still allowed it. I think maybe we got sick of arguing and just gave it to him because he
Probably.
wasn't going to stop the
And
argument.
it was later at night. Too.
It was later at night, but that really bugged me the night of the draft. But I forgot about it. Right, all of a sudden, a few days go by. I forgot about it, and all of a sudden, I see a tweet from our lovely producer Cam. Right, and it just says, "I absolutely dominated this draft." That was the aftershock to me for getting me pissed again. I saw that and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna brag about cheating, you little fuck?" So I ended up sending him a text. I'm like, "Wow, bragging about cheating is a bad look." So he responds, "Yup," and then I respond to him, "Whatever, dude. Have fun at the Taylor Swift concert." And then he responds to me, "What are you talking about?" And I haven't talked to him since. So
Nice.
that's the aftershock bit when something pisses you off in the moment and you kind of forget about it.
Have
and
fun
then-
at the Taylor. He was at Morgan Wallen
Yes.
in Chicago. Have fun at US Bank Stadium, you
bitch.
pussy.
But yeah, that again, I forgot about it, and then it came back when he bragged about it, and I got so mad, like unnecessarily.
Well, yeah, and it pissed me off too. Like people on Instagram were commenting like, "Bro, how did Mike Tyson go before God?" I'm like, because
God wasn't supposed to be available.
God shouldn't count.
He wasn't
God's
an option.
above everybody.
And it's also just a draft on a funny draft.
Yes.
This isn't like this
It shouldn't
isn't
make anyone as
commissioned-
bad as it is, but
This isn't
Oh.
commissioned by the World Organization or something.
Jerseys make people actually want to put a hit out on you.
oh yeah, honestly, any ranking
Super
or draft
weird.
does, dude.
Golf
It's
courses,
crazy.
yeah. People are like, "I don't trust you guys anymore." Putting Theo Worth on your fucking list.
Yes.
You don't trust someone because of where they enjoy to play golf.
Yeah.
What
Come
the
on.
fuck?
Well,
It's so
I got
funny.
a text from Josie. It was like on Monday, and like we have not even talked about the podcast yet. And he just responds to me, and he's like, "Cam choosing God? Are you kidding me?" And I just lost
Yeah,
it.
the community is very divided on that.
Yes.
He also won the Twitter poll by like 40% because of that.
Yeah.
Cam just
It was a
wanted
landslide.
to Cam just wanted to make sure he got a win.
Yep.
Hey, well, good for him. He did, and he
Just like the Astros.
yes. Hey, let's not lie though. There's an asterisk with that title,
Correct.
with both those titles.
Correct. All right, I'll take us home here before the Justin Gaard interview. I have the monsoon at the most inconvenient time bit. So on Saturday night, journalist Jake and one of my buddies, Charlie from hockey, were out at Cowboy Jack's until bar close. And there was no rain pretty much all night, all day. It was actually supposed to rain earlier in the day. And by bar close, it starts sprinkling. Journalist Jake here orders a lift, and he's like, "Okay, it's 15 minutes away, right?" You think, no problem, just a little drizzle. It goes from a drizzle to a goddamn monsoon. And like, I'm talking flash flooding. Like, our Lyft driver drove us home. We were soaked after standing outside for 5 minutes. I totally forgot that there's one little umbrella that the bouncers stand under. And like, some guy was like drunk and was leaning into the bouncer. The bouncer's like, "If you fucking stand under my umbrella for 5 more seconds, I'm going to knock you out." Like, he threatened to assault him.
What the fuck?
We were standing under the umbrella, but we weren't like bumping into the bouncer, so
Okay.
he probably didn't have an issue with it. And we were only like halfway under it.
Yeah.
But by the time we get in this dude's super nice car, we're completely soaked. I'm like profusely apologizing to the Uber driver because he's got really nice leather, really
Yeah.
clean car.
Hold on, really quick. This is post 2 a.m., right? So you
Yeah.
guys were kicked out of the
This
bar.
was
and were
this was
forced.
12 minutes later.
Okay.
And we're completely soaked. I think we released like a funny weather bit where
Mm-hmm.
we were like talking. You can't even hear what we're saying because there's so much water in Jake's mic of his phone and it's all over the camera. Like when we were driving home, you know that sound your car makes when you're hydroplaning? It's like that shh. It was like that the entire way home. I mean, this guy was white knuckling the steering wheel while Jake has just passed out in the back seat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the most inconvenient time, we don't get rain all year. And the one time we get this much of a heavy rain, we happen to be standing outside for 12 minutes. So,
I know, well, what sucked is it started raining around midnight, but we were able to, the bar's still open. We were on the rooftop. We went back down inside. We're like, cool, this is the last of it. No, go outside. It's literally, like you said, just dead. And then in a second, boom, like the plague of rain comes down, and we're just
heavy rain.
Heavy, like heavy.
Like the streets were already flooding in probably 10 seconds straight.
It was brutal.
I bet Minneapolis got like 4 inches of rain in just the
definitely.
2 hours.
I remember dropping dinner off to my girlfriend in Stillwater and driving home. And I was going probably about 25, 30 miles an hour on Highway 36 for 25, 30 minutes until I got to 674.
Which already sucks because there's construction everywhere there.
Exactly. So that I was white-knuckling the entire time. And then I remember you guys were going out that night. And I was like, I hope those bastards don't stay out until bar close.
Yeah.
I almost went home at midnight. Went home at midnight. We ended up running into good friend Liam Guerin, Billy's son, and
awesome.
Ended up catching up with him for a little bit. So I'll say it was worth it to stay out and see a good friend of ours. But other than that, I really wish I would have gone home at midnight and wouldn't have gotten soaked.
Yeah, you guys looked absolutely fucking miserable.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I saw it earlier today. I was just.
It's also one of those things where you're like, okay, you know what? If I decide to stay out until the waking morning hours, I probably deserve bad things to happen to me. So I'm not surprised. I'm not angry at Mother Nature. I'm just disappointed because we haven't gotten rain literally since like May, I feel like, other than just a couple minutes of sprinkles.
Yep.
And then it just downpours on me like some of the only time I'm outside. So
it was literally God punishing us to not be out that late
and this leads into my next bit. Do you want to know where that rain was happening in? Can anyone guess what city we were in?
Swiftieapolis.
So Kyle, what's his name? Or Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis.
He seems like a Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I went to high school with Kyle Fry, so I always think of Kyle Fry.
You screw it up, yeah.
Jacob Fry renamed the city of Minneapolis to Swiftieapolis when she was in town this weekend on Friday and Saturday. And my question for you guys is, here's a stat. How many championships has Swiftieapolis lost? Zero. How many has Minneapolis lost?
Several.
I
So
don't want to talk about
makes you think.
Well,
maybe
Swiftieapolis is already done.
Is it Swiftieapolis or Swiftieapolis?
I think
might
it was
be
Swiftieapolis.
Swiftieapolis.
So what I would ask the mayor to do is maybe leave the name and maybe it's a clean start.
The city could
I don't
use
know.
a clean start. I mean,
Every city that doesn't have a championship deserves a clean slate.
Right.
We have a championship, though.
We do with the
last
Twins.
25, 30 years, deserve a clean slate.
Yeah.
So the name change sticks.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about that because it seemed like there was already bad luck with the rain. The worst time.
But I also heard Vikings fans who were for some reason actually there were a lot of Vikings fans at this Taylor Swift concert said that it was 10 times louder than any Viking game they had been to, including the Minneapolis Miracle.
Gross.
Yep. Well, I agree. I've heard.
I don't believe it.
Well, if you have that makes sense to me, and only because there's not 40,000 screaming women at Vikings games. I mean, not screaming like they are at a Taylor Swift concert is what I mean. There's obviously
entire time.
There's plenty of women at Vikings games, but what I'm saying is like the screaming when as soon as Taylor Swift takes a stage, every single person with a vagina is like on their feet and they're screaming.
Well, and all I'm saying is I think Jake and I and everyone else outside of Cowboy Jack's in Swiftieapolis on Saturday were the only ones who took an L though, because Taylor Swift made a ton of money. All the fans seemed to love the experience. The building was loud. The city made a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Jake and I got soaked. That was the only L we took. So I'm asking, let's consider it.
My only thing is, and I think we talked about this when we were golfing last Friday, it was like we look thirsty as fuck renaming our fucking town after a pop singer.
Yeah,
like it kind of seems like we're in the
cult.
middle of nowhere, Alaska, and we've never had a celebrity show up to do
That's
a show
how some people
before.
were acting.
So we renamed the town after the celebrity.
We had the
showing
Super
up.
Bowl here 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
We've
whatever.
had the Final
5
Four
years
here.
ago.
I think we can do that because she's on track to gross over $1 billion on this tour. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
she's
the
like the
highest
most popular
grossing- that's gonna
person
be
ever.
The highest grossing tour.
Did we rename it Princeiapolis when we had like one of the greatest pop singers at the time here? No, we didn't.
Literally was one of the
because
greatest.
the name
Because
doesn't
he plays
fit.
guitar.
But we can name St. Paul to St. Prince. St. Prince and Swiftieapolis, those
there
are
we
two
go.
very successful people.
Can you imagine that
make a
logo
good
of them
point.
shaking
Yeah.
hands?
Yeah,
Prince
it
and
doesn't make
Taylor
sense
Swift.
Taylor Swift and Prince.
Prince is literally from. I think Prince is literally from. He's from Minnesota. He lived here, and we named like maybe a street after him, and we named an entire city after Taylor Swift, who's not even from here.
Hey, he's got
Ridiculous.
he's got a what do you call those wall paintings?
A mural.
A mural. He's got a
Yes.
couple murals.
Yes.
We got a mural.
And also, I live
Yeah.
right next to his home / recording
Paisley Park,
studio.
Paisley Park, yeah.
Paisley Park. Which, by the way, boys, we should check it out.
We should tour that.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
so close.
they just had like a big event there, like
Yeah.
like almost like a concert or something, because he has some massive event center room in there.
Also,
like
didn't Prince pass away there as well?
Yeah, fentanyl or something. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a-
he made us all sad.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a
it's
downer
true.
detail to add to
It's
it.
it's just a fact.
Wow, that's a great
It's
time
facts.
to let's go to commercial break.
Yeah, we'll
and,
talk with Justin Gaard.
Yeah.
Guardsy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you should check out 10K Takes exclusive merchandise line. We currently have our summer collection out, which has a lot of awesome 10K Takes themed t-shirts. But on top of that, we have a lot of Minnesota Twins themed t-shirts. Some of those include the Joey G Revenge Tour shirt. We got the Corn Fed Farmer shirt, which I know is a favorite of our producer Cam. Most people's favorites is the 10K Takes 1991 World Series tee. Get that in white. It looks absolutely amazing. But all you got to do is go to 10ktakesmn.com and then go to our shop tab. There you can check out all of our exclusive merchandise. All of them have either 10K or Twins themes, so to say. So go and check those out today. JJ, I mean, what's your favorite shirt in the store?
Joey G Revenge Tour.
It is a sick shirt. Our
Yeah.
producer over here, Josie, is wearing one right now.
I also like the generic, just the heavy 10K Takes logo tee, which just has 10K Takes plastered across the shirt. So
It looks wonderful,
it's
yeah.
a wonderful T-shirt, and I enjoy it very much.
Exactly. So if you want to rep anything regarding your Minnesota Twins or your 10K Takes, I can say that right.
Your 10,000 takes.
There you go. Go to 10ktakesmn.com. Go to the shop tab. Support us, and we really, really appreciate it. Look for the Vikings release next month or 2 months from now. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you when.
Folks, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined by a very special guest, friend of the program, returning guest. The last time he was on Zoom, we got him in studio this time. We got Justin Gaard. He works for KFAN, obviously, does sideline for Gopher Football, play-by-play for women's Gopher Basketball. Catch him on Fox 9. Like, am I missing anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You
What
gotta
else
be
is
one of
there?
the you gotta be one of the busiest guys.
And pro golfer.
Right,
Yeah.
pro golfer.
Played a pro golf event yesterday. Ryan Seacrest just passed me, though, on jobs. He's going to be the new Wheel of Fortune guy. Did you guys see that?
He is?
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
see that.
Yeah, so I got work to do.
Yeah.
Damn.
Many people have compared the two of us for a lot of different reasons, and so now
obviously.
Seacrest, it's my move.
Did you apply for that job?
I sent him my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they need nowadays.
Yeah, I
Send-
sent
send
Vanna
him the
White.
tape.
I tried to connect with Vanna White on LinkedIn. It didn't work, unfortunately. So yeah, Seacrest is doing it, I guess. So good for him.
Yeah.
good for him.
Then
Rich
you got to
get
take
richer.
his job. And when was the last time he hosted American Idol? That'd be years ago, right?
I think he still does.
Well, then you got to do that. Then you got to interview crazy people and crackheads that want to go up and audition for American Idol.
I could handle that.
Okay.
I can handle that.
They always say, though, I think the wolves at the bottom are hungrier than the ones at the top. It's
true. It's true.
You're a lot hungrier than Ryan Seacrest at this very moment.
But not the
should
it's a
Minnesota
threat to him.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing
Not
this.
those
I'm
wolves.
trying
Yeah.
to get my name back out there.
There we
I'm
go.
trying to do this.
Seacrest needs
Thanks
to
for
watch his
having
back.
me. This
yeah.
place is cool. It's
Yeah.
exactly what I expected,
Well, and
except it's cleaner.
Really?
which
yeah.
is that's always a surprising one.
Not the bathroom by the laundry room that I used.
Yeah.
That
No.
needs some work. Is that the bathroom where Rosie touched up his face
Correct.
Yes.
after he ran into
where
the truck or whatever?
Exactly, and that's where like our roommate Donnie, who's not here right now, just said, "Hey, there's some guy upstairs," and we went up there because he showed up a little earlier.
That's what I felt like.
yeah,
It's the
and
same exact sensation.
Except you made yourself, known that you're here. We went upstairs and we just see the bathroom door shut, and they're like, "He's in there." And we're like, we don't know. Could this be a random
Yeah.
guy at this point?
Hey,
What's
It's
going
hilarious
on?
too because Donnie, he's from Wisconsin. He had no clue who Rosie was, right?
Makes
So he
sense,
just
yeah.
comes down. He's like, "Hey guys, there's some old guy using our bathroom."
Yeah, it's not good.
We are near Minneapolis.
and there's a trail of blood. Did someone shoot him on the way up here, or what
Is this
happened?
Rosie or what? And he comes out with the toilet paper, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" He's like, dabbing his
Casual.
face.
We're like, hey, so what happened?
So we almost killed him. So, but he's the only guest. Fortunately, we thought it was going to be like a string of bad luck after that. And
It's
you know,
Rosie, yeah.
But
It's Rosie.
yeah.
Well, so you have all like this artwork and stuff. This is the last bathroom topic we'll talk about. But
Yes.
You've got, PGA Championship flag. You've got Rod Carew jerseys. I'm about to add something to it here in a minute. But then in the bathroom, you have like this beautiful print of like an Italian canal.
Oh yes.
And I'm wondering, that had to be here when you moved in.
No.
Or there's some type of safe back there.
So I know I have an explanation. I think the the most sinful room in the house needs to have the highest of class. I think.
Okay.
It's to balance everything out. I think Jake actually just threw up in that bathroom on Saturday night.
I allegedly.
I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that.
You did.
Yeah, you missed a couple.
Oh
You missed a few
goodness.
spots,
Yeah. Well, that could be spots from several different
It's
things.
true. I've been
but
there.
It's the middle of the house. It's the busiest bathroom. So
It's the common bathroom, so no one here is like, I'm going to clean that
It's
today.
no one's
Yeah,
responsibility.
bad.
It's kind of like No Man's Land in World War I. That's basically what that bathroom
downstairs
is.
bathroom is fairly clean. Josie, can you attest?
He's
Oh,
just-
gosh.
That's
I
your
just-
bathroom.
I'm
Jake.
only
That's
one who
your
cleans
bathroom.
it. Cam doesn't clean it, so
That's on
that
him.
needs some work. The floor is clean though. I just cleaned the floor a little bit ago.
So do you guys want the addition to this place?
Yes,
Let's
I
do
do.
it,
We'll
yeah.
unveil
Yeah,
it.
Darren, we got all this. So this is, speaking of fine art, there's a lot of museums where famous artists will like loan their paintings. I can't give this to you.
Oh, no.
This is on loan for a while.
Okay.
But my wife would love if I gave this to you. It was a disagreement between my wife and my 8-year-old today when I came up from my office, which kind of looks like this.
Okay.
Just crap everywhere.
Yep.
From all the different events. I actually have that same master's towel.
Yep.
She said, "Are you giving that away finally?" I said, No. I'm going to lend it to the guys.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe it'll turn into a give.
Okay.
But it's got a story behind it. Are we ready?
Yes.
This is it.
let's see it.
Okay. I want to. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Shit.
an oar.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
broken
it's
though.
busted.
That's the story. That's
Okay.
the genius of the oar. So good guess. This is a PJ Fleck oar.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a
yes.
Gopher Football oar, row the boat oar for everybody that's watching here. Okay.
Rode by the Fleck himself.
And you can tell it's game used. It's broken. They're supposed to be, the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2021, University of Minnesota football team beats Wisconsin at Huntington Bank Stadium. Okay. Great game. Kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't know what was going on. Yeah, 2 years ago because they'd beaten them 2 times in a row.
No big deal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just bring that
Got
up.
jinx.
Yeah. And you were in there. Coach Mike Hawk was in
Yeah,
there.
I was down on the
of
field
course.
after.
So
Only time I ever.
You know
yeah.
where I'm going with this. So what does PJ Fleck do after the Gophers win? Does anybody know? When he gets into the locker room.
He jumps on top. He crowd surfs.
He crowd surfs.
Yeah.
He sprints down. He turns a corner. He sprints. Crowd surfs. They take his shoes. It's great. It's awesome. So I'm always in there for that. So when they beat Wisconsin, he threw a twist. He comes around the corner holding the oar. He chops it like the axe until it breaks. This goes flying. Room goes insane. He crowd surfs. Shoes are gone. Pandemonium.
Wow.
Gives the whole speech. We're axe tough. This is great. And I'm like 4 feet away from
Yeah.
him.
Oh, I
'Cause
was going to ask.
My spot is kind of around the corner. I don't always go into the locker room at Huntington. I kind of go around the corner and just let him be with the team or whatever. But for this one, I'm like, no, I'm coming in. Like I'm going
Yeah.
full in. And so after he gets done with the speech, his Officer Mark, that's always accompanying him, he's a good friend of mine. He came up to me and he said, "I think you should have this."
Wow,
And I
that's
said-
awesome.
And I said,
The honorary roar.
I
oar.
agree.
Yeah.
I think
I
should
deserve
have
this.
So this has been, I saw your downstairs bar. This has been like up top at my downstairs bar. But I feel like you guys would do a nice job of shepherding it. And the only thing, I need to have him sign it with the score.
Yes.
Ooh,
That's the
yeah.
one thing,
Maybe like the date on there too.
Exactly. Because that was a great day. It was a great memory. And I'll never forget PJ chopping this oar like the axe, busting the axe, and then I got it. So, anyway.
Unbelievable.
Well,
I feel like
Oh,
you
we
gotta
gotta
pass
pass
like
this around.
throw it
what
in
I'm
the
doing.
Oh, can I touch it first?
the Tony right in front of the Tony
you.
the Tiger
I have to
box.
touch
It'll
it.
it'll be in
There we
every
go.
it'll be in every shot now.
Every shot, because that's like the best.
Look
That's
at-
the key
look at-
shot.
right
Yeah.
front and center.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
see it.
it's in good hands now.
So just keep good care of it for a while. Yeah, I don't know
on loan.
when I'll ask it back. Maybe when you guys move.
Or
Yeah.
hopefully we won't break it.
Yeah.
well, it's
Or
already
have our own-
broken, so I think
Well, I
I
mean,
think
break it further.
I think we're good. That's when you say he slammed it down like that. That's literally rock star shit. Like when a rock star breaks a
It was
guitar.
epic.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Did you see smack it on the floor?
It was just he was chopping the axe. Yeah.
Wow.
It was as good
Fuck
as it
yeah.
gets. I
Yeah.
mean, that's as good as it gets.
Would you see Tim Brewster doing that?
You never beat Wisconsin.
No, so you never say
You
that.
gotta earn a moment
I
like
know.
that. You know?
That's awesome
You gotta
story.
earn a moment like that. So I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
We appreciate that greatly,
Heavily
Guards.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Right below the 7th Avenue Pizza Challenge winner.
And Bubba won for us, yes.
Similar
Our big
victories.
dude. Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Impactful. Yeah,
Well,
very,
was-
Very
impactful.
impactful.
Was
Inspiring.
that the coolest moment you got to be a part of in the locker room, or is there anything
That's a
cooler?
great question. What a great question.
Journalism.
There's been a couple. I think we talked about it the last time I was on. We talked about Penn State. The other one that was really good. Well, the funniest ones are about Wisconsin because it's always ramped up like a different level. When they beat him in 2018, and they've talked about this before. their whole build-up, they bust over there, but everybody, and I think I smelled it coming in here too, everybody had to bring their own bottle of Axe body spray. That was the big, he pointed at him. Yeah. Everybody had to bring their own bottle of Axe body spray. So they win the Axe, 2018, they get bowl eligible. And this was where I made one of the biggest mistakes ever, although I got to see this moment. Like, we'd never won the Axe before, so I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I figured we're going to go to the locker room. We're going to have a great post-game show. It's going to be awesome. This is incredible. The streak has been snapped. They killed him that day. So, like, everybody had left Camp Randall. It was just Gopher fans. So, like, the fourth quarter of that game, including jump around, was epic because nobody was there except Gopher fans who, hadn't seen him win there in, like, 25 years. So I go into the locker room, which was a mistake because the players were all out on the field with the actual Axe, chopping it down, taking pictures, doing the whole thing. So the post-game show sucked, and it still bothers me to this day. I mean, we could have had everybody. We could have had Carter Coughlin, Antoine Winfield, go down the list, and it would have been sweet. But what was going on in the locker room was the players were spraying the Axe body spray like they just clinched the American League Central or won the World Series. Like
Instead
it was
of
like
champagne.
Goggles.
Yeah, and you needed them. And
Smelled
so
horrible in there.
The funniest part about that was there were some boosters along the trip. There's like an 85-year-old woman in there with their husband, and she's just getting pepper sprayed.
Oh, no.
I mean,
No.
the place
Good.
it's got like a foamy haze of Axe body spray because they just unloaded it. And they've talked about, it's not like I'm breaking any trade secrets there. They've talked about how it smelled in there for a while. And then, so that was sweet. But then this year when they beat them too, I don't know why, but everybody just started smoking.
Oh, yeah.
The cigars.
Which,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, it's good that they didn't do that after spraying the Axe body spray because
they let a couple years in between.
yeah,
there.
that could have
And so we have one coach who walked into the locker room, and he was like the voice of reason. Like, guys, we can't smoke. Put them out. But you've got the athletic director there, the president's there, and you've got other coaches going, smoke them if you got them. Like, some guy pulls out Marlboro Lights. Like, it's just like the fun.
That was
Mariano.
Mariano Sorimara.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
he's the one who pulled. I think we almost made like a shirt design that said "Better Dead than Marlboro Red." That was the saying he came up with.
It was so that was another, and then you've got like because I walked into that one, and this time the booster was like a dad and like an 8-year-old son, and so he was kind of standing low. So I grabbed him and put him like up on one of the lockers. I'm like, you're just gonna want to soak all this in and maybe get out of the smoke.
I was gonna say it's safe.
I was just say this is gonna be something you'll remember forever because it's just like the coolest moment when something like that happens and everybody's just happy.
I know.
And but yeah, it was Kirk Shiraka actually that was like, guys, we can't smoke in here.
What the hell's going on?
We got to put them out.
You were talking about inside secrets. Can you confirm nor deny that onside kicking specialist Coach Mike Hawk was one of the coaches encouraging smoking?
He was actually smoking weed.
Okay.
I was gonna
Allegedly.
say.
Yeah.
It wasn't even legal.
PJ
there, but
stopped him before he pulled out the crap.
He might have thought it was a cigar, and
Yeah.
he just was smoking
right
weed.
in front of President Gable.
It's a bold move.
Yeah, I couldn't. But that's an onside kicking coach is going to be a little bit of a wild card,
Right.
You know,
It's a
you kind of
special
know
teams
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, he just got extended, but he still does not have an accredited onside kick to his name as the
Dude,
Gophers
we
onside
were
kick
so
specialist.
we were so close last year. What game was that? It was a home game.
Oh goodness!
I thought
We were praying for
maybe
an onside
Iowa.
kick.
because
I
we almost
remember
made a
that.
comeback.
wow.
We were losing by a lot, and then we kind of came back, and there was a moment where we scored a touchdown, and we were down like
Would
10.
that have been Purdue?
Actually, I think that might have been it.
Because Iowa
was
was
Purdue,
close the
yes.
whole way. Purdue was just a disastrous
Yeah,
game.
another homecoming.
But then we
Yeah.
played good
Letdown.
in the fourth and started scoring, and we were like, okay, here comes an onside kick.
was
and
that? Oh yeah, Purdue. Yeah. What date was that?
Let's see.
It's kind of insane. We've been doing this bit since 2020, and we haven't had an onside kick
No.
since then.
Well,
which
that's
is
when he got signed.
kind of impressive.
But it's hilarious.
That's when he got signed, and then he got an extension.
He's
a year
bad
later.
luck.
They don't
Yeah.
trust him.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to do an onside
They're
kick
just
yet.
waiting for the right plan to show.
Well, they don't let him on the field yet, which
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What
which
was
is-
the
which
game
is
where I
atrocious.
saw Mike Hawk just wandering around Oak Street after the game when I was walking with
game
Mike
was-
Grimm? He was waiting for a ride home. He must have missed the team bus.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask that. He was waiting for a ride to Cowboy Jack's, and
right.
I think you did offer him a ride,
I did.
and you just didn't know. I'm like, you don't want to go where I'm going or where he's going. So
he was going to the college
yeah,
club.
he was going to the
hang
Cowboy
out with
Jack's.
college students.
But if there's an onside kick this year, you gotta attend a Cowboy Jack's with Coach Hawk and get a drink.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be
if,
great.
there's just one onside
If there
kick.
is, we need one. Yeah, did he tell you? I just saw him wandering around Dinkytown. I'm like,
That's the
Grim
first
and I
I've
were
heard.
talking. We're like breaking
Couldn't
down
get
the
a
game.
fucking Uber.
I don't remember which game it was, but
It was on Halloween or it was on that weekend
Yeah.
of Halloween because I was trying to get to downtown and I couldn't get in. All the Ubers kept canceling because they could not. It could see them, just they couldn't get down to the stadium.
I want the record that I offered the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm good. I don't think you want to drop. I don't think you want to drive in the downtown. Or
Did you
even
get
in your-
there eventually?
I got there eventually, like
Yeah.
shortly after that. Fortunately, I
What
do
time
appreciate
was
the
that
offer.
at?
Well, it was
Probably
what?
like 7. It was probably a 2:30 game.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7. I was right across the street from like Mariucci,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there, and then I see you, and you're like, "Hey, you good? Like,
I'm
need
like,
a ride?"
Mike,
Yeah,
coach,
Mike. I'm
coach.
like, "What's up?"
You good?
Yeah, I'm just waiting
He's
for an
just
Uber.
staring at his phone like this.
Of course,
I'm like,
the-
Grim, you go ahead. I got to make sure it's a welfare check.
What's the
I'm
deal?
Yeah, you got to make sure it's. I'm okay.
The Gopher
He's okay.
football budget can afford to have 7 different uniforms, but they can't even provide transportation
No.
for the coaching staff.
And especially Coach Mike Hawk too, because like he relies on the booze after the games.
It's his crutch.
He doesn't have a
And-
license because he's always drunk, so he
Exactly.
can never drive.
Well, he's trying to do everything he can to get on the field, so he doesn't want to ruin that by getting into an accident driving or something like that. He's being responsible.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the Mike Hawk bit, we've had, Sorry Marin on the show, Tanner Morgan. It's reached the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which we love.
I think
No, and they always refer to him as Coach Hawk. They never called him Mike. They
They're
always
respectable men.
Yeah,
Coach Hawk and call me Michael. You know,
My mother named me Michael, but I go by Mike.
that was like my dad actually did. So like, he
didn't know about the bit.
He didn't get that the name Mike Hawk, has that can come off as something different.
He never said it quickly.
I don't know. And he was just yelling it around the neighborhood one day. Hey, did you see his bit, Mike Hawk?
Oh, God.
He didn't know what it like the name together. I'm like, you can just call me Michael.
That's a typical Wally dub, though.
Yes, it's a Wally win for
Can
sure.
I give you a similar story on that?
Yes.
This is a podcast. Hang on. We can. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can enjoy it.
You can swear on
There's
this.
no segments, no time.
You know, my mom one time told me, because I started to swear on podcasts, and she said, I don't think you should swear on podcasts. And I said, all right, Mom, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't. It's not good for the brand.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, you never know.
One McGolden.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You're already just a
He's
couple
gonna be-
sips
he's
down.
gonna be dancing on the
This
table
This is unfiltered. Yeah, we should come back on for next week's episode. There'll be maybe some.
Oh yeah, we're taking legal edibles for next
Yeah.
week's episode.
That'll be a good one.
Probably not me though.
So
I hope the guest is here, not on Wi-Fi.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think you guys can figure it out.
we wouldn't
no
be able
guess.
to do it.
Have you heard of what happened the last time we did an Edibles episode or no?
No.
I
this
think
is a
Jake,
sequel.
Jake should tell the
So
story.
well, the listeners definitely know. So we did. I did way far less than anyone else did, and for whatever the reason, I started like tripping out and seeing stuff, and I called 911 eventually on our driveway.
And we had a fire truck,
was
an
brutal.
ambulance, and 2 police cars show up here.
we wasted taxpayer money.
I was like I've said this. I think we've talked about this. I was just gone. I have no idea where I was. I was seeing things
10 milligrams of edibles.
on 10 milligrams of fucking edibles.
They should have brought you up to the Capitol for those like against it.
Yeah, I
wondering,
know.
like, are we doing this too fast? I think you're Exhibit A.
I'm the mascot.
Well,
the extremists that are against it should have just grabbed me,
and
brought me up there right away.
The ambulance person or the paramedic, didn't they say like, yeah, we get a couple of these calls a week?
Well, because I think they had just legalized edibles at the time or something like that, or these kind of edibles. And they're like, yeah, we've already had a few calls like this.
Yeah, they know what to do.
I'm like, but it's weird because I have allegedly partaken in the other, more natural form of it, and I've been fine. And this, for whatever reason, I was just...
Out of your mind.
Wow, that's a good tease for
Yeah.
next week. I kind
So,
of
yeah.
feel like we
Yeah.
should just cut this off now and just let you guys get ready for
But,
next week.
I don't know if I'll partake in...
We're waiting for Jake's
Maybe sit
decision.
this one out.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I
Maybe
don't
just
want
sit this one out.
Not before 4th of July weekend.
So
No.
the story that you interrupted. Very
Oh,
rudely,
damn it.
No, I'm kidding. So my mother-in-law has, she loves hummingbirds.
Oh, yep.
Loves them. Has hummingbird feeders all over the place. This is about your dad not really understanding what things mean. You can probably see where this thing is going.
Yes.
So we're up there for Mother's Day a few years ago, and it's become a yearly text between my brother-in-law and me on all holidays, really. But Mother's Day is what, May usually, second Sunday of May, whatever, call your mom. And so she's telling us a story as we're sitting out on her patio, and she's like, God, I've had the feeders, and you just never know when they're going to show up. And wouldn't you know it, this morning, one just popped right up, and I said, there's a Mother's Day Hummer.
And she doesn't...
And my brother-in-law is gone.
Yeah.
He just sprints out, because we all, I did what you did. I just lost it. out the door. My sister-in-law didn't really hear. She's like, what happened? What was the story? I tell her the story, and she's like, wow, mother. Okay. Yeah. And I said, well, our Mother's Days are very different.
Yeah, right.
So that's the
Reception.
text. Yeah, we're always waiting for the Mother's Day Hummer.
Oh no!
Still waiting.
every year, right?
Father's Day Hummer, Mother's Day Hummer.
Oh goodness!
And we have feeders at our house too, and I just take pictures and send them to my brother-in-law. I said, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Waiting for the Hummer.
Nothing yet. Still
We just got my parents' hummingbird feeders for their anniversary, and now I'm going to be a lot more invested in this.
Yeah.
Now that I know what I got, now my investment in the hummingbird
What
feeder.
a thoughtful gift for
Yeah,
your father.
seriously.
Your parents are going to be very weirded out by the fact that you're so invested in it.
I know.
Why are you so invested in this right now?
Yeah.
No, we're just waiting for
it's a bit. See, that's where the name of the show comes
We're waiting
from.
for the hummingbird or the summer Hummer.
Yeah,
or
summer
something. Or
Hummer.
what? At this point,
Mother's
I
Day
don't know.
Hummer.
Well, and like most mothers-in-law of that age, they all live on Facebook now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, just make sure you don't post that on Facebook. You're gonna have a lot of people rolling over, some unsightly character. It's like if you're just handing out Mother's Day Hummers. You gotta be. You can't do that.
Can't just be putting that out there.
No, not on
That's
the
something
internet.
like
At
my
least not for
grandma would
free.
put out.
100%. It's
Yeah,
so good.
It's such a good bit.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bit.
It's a great bit.
So anyway, apologies to my mother-in-law. So now that's public, but
Yeah,
it's
a good story. though.
I've told it enough.
Will she be listening though? Do you think?
No, probably
Okay,
not.
then we're
No.
good.
Yeah.
The secret is still
Word might
safe.
get back to her.
Yeah. Oh,
see.
yeah. But would she even like? All right, we'll go move on.
So let's
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about the fan.
Okay.
Everyone in here is a member of the fan at this point.
Are we?
Yeah,
kind of,
We're on
yeah.
the air.
Yeah,
every,
we are.
every
I'm
Saturday
just-
talking degenerate sports betting. Actually, this week we get to talk about hot dogs. It's one of the best sports betting weeks
Oh,
of
that's
the year.
this weekend. That's
is
right.
that this weekend?
Joey
Tu-
Chestnut.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll be on 4th of July.
Interviewed Joey Chestnut a few times.
Really?
Yeah, Final Four Radio Rows. He'd be brought around by like Hooters or some restaurants.
Yeah.
And
How was it?
I mean, there's really not a lot to talk to him about. It's
Other than
like
food.
Yeah, it's like so. How do you do that? And he tells you, and you're like,
Cool.
okay. Yeah, how'd you
cool.
start? Like, there's not a lot of directions you can go.
It's like, so when you eat dinner normally, like, do you eat that much? Or-
I mean, you like to try to be like prepared and unique, but it's like it's competitive eating. Like, there's not a lot of ways to
Yeah.
go. Like,
Does he give off the same like aura as like Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky?
it's a lot like that. You know when he walks in.
Yeah.
You know when he walks in. The room stops.
Yeah.
The record screeches, and everybody knows that he's there.
Woods, Gretzky, Jordan, Chestnut.
Yeah, the Mount
Mount
Rushmore of
Rushmore.
athletes,
Yeah.
influential athletes.
Ruth comes 5th. He comes after Chestnut. Chestnut's an American
What
hero.
was it like? Justin, did you ever see the bits we did? Like our big friend Bubba did the food eating challenges, like a few years back.
I mean, I vaguely remember that. I remember the 9 innings, 9 beers
Oh,
challenge.
that was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gross.
Jake and I did that. We also did last year. We did 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 3 periods
Yeah.
of hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
Jake
good
threw
one.
up from that one.
Of course,
Doesn't it
I'm
make you
Steve-O.
respect Chestnut, though?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Like
yeah.
that he can do that?
and just not even puke. He looks like he's just like not even like feeling sick or anything after he's done with that.
It's insane.
There is.
Doesn't even stun him.
I think ESPN airs it every year, but there is like the sports science bit where they break down how athletes train and stuff. They did actually a segment on Chestnut about how he trains. Like he'll chew like 10 sticks of gum at once, and he has like the jaws of a canine. And he does this thing with like the way he drinks. He'll drink like 10 gallons of water in like an hour, and his stomach will be this big.
Yeah.
Like there is some science behind it, but yeah, once you hit about the 10-minute mark, you'd be like, so like if you get high, do you eat like even more, or do you call the cops?
Dude, your munchies just like for a giant.
Way bigger
dude.
than anyone else's.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That's those are the questions though. We're journalists.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the fans. So when you're producing Bumper to Bumper and Bill Guerin walks in, I know you've been doing what you've been doing for a while and you're quite the professional, but do you still get a little bit of angst sitting between Guerin and Barrero when you know that Barrero is going to ask some of those pressing questions to a guy who
It's just might
is
scream, might
passionate,
yell.
is passionate. Let's say
Passionate.
that.
Not with Bill Guerin, because Bill Guerin loves the battle.
Yeah.
Like he wants it to be like that.
Yeah.
He thrives, I think, and he knows what he's coming in for. He knows what he's doing. He's never said no. That's what I love about him and just the Wild in general. Like, because sometimes things get tense or something's bad and people don't want to talk. They don't want to show up. Like you ask for somebody not available. My favorite is when they say, well, he's traveling.
Yeah.
I'm like
Well-
the Oregon Trail?
Yeah, what?
Is he caulking a river?
Is he constantly looking for food for
Yeah.
survival?
The boundary
Yeah.
waters.
Yeah.
Is he just trying to decide caulk or ford? How
Yeah,
do I get
right.
across? Like, I mean, we all like these work. I think
Yeah.
does he not have roaming?
Yeah, come on.
They couldn't. Colleges
We have,
getting
this
middle-
thing, we have this thing called Zoom now where
Yeah.
you can get the video too.
It's the most amazing thing. It just cracks me up all the time when I'll read like a story or someone will say like so and so was traveling and unavailable for comment. I'm like, to space?
It's kind of like the General Soreness Jimmy Butler bit.
Yeah. Are they
Can't play.
on
Yeah.
some kind of NASA mission where they don't get service? Like
Yeah.
it's 2023.
Are they visiting the Titanic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
What's
too
going
soon.
on?
Too
Oh,
soon.
too soon.
Not gonna lie, thought about it.
Yeah.
But it's better. You
Well,
said
the
it.
internet already got to it, so we're.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So Bill Guerin never says no, always comes on and comes in when he wants. So that one gives me no anxiety. That one I'm excited about, especially if there is something that they're going to argue about.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing where it got a little weird, not weird, but like when the Kaprizov Russia stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And like they can't talk about that stuff. Like I think we've learned like it's. Like you just can't do anything with Russia.
Yeah.
You can't talk about them. You can't wear pride jerseys. Like you can't even. It's crazy to even understand what's going on there. So that wasn't even like tense, but it was one of those things where you felt like you were putting him in a bad position, but you also had to like kind of ask something. But in terms of the regular, like the most famous one we had with them was who do we just trade to the Kings?
Fiala. Yeah.
Fiala or Dumba, and it was like, well,
Oh, yeah.
and it was the whole, why does it have to be Dumba? Why do we have to do this? Matt Dumba's been a great player for us,
Yeah.
and blah 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 blah. And I'm just going to trade him because Fiala's had 3 good months. Yeah, that's what that's the one where like Dan and that was on the phone where we're just looking at each other and like, yeah, there's the quote. We're gonna be playing
Using
for a
that
while.
one.
But Guerin loves that. Like you guys know him. Like he's awesome. So
Yeah.
that gives. There's been times where like you knew it was probably going to get a little tense, but 20 years in now, it's like it doesn't happen as often as you'd think.
Yeah, and it's always one of my favorite interviews, either Barrero or Russo, right after the season's over, because you get the most raw, kind of emotional Billy G. And this year's, you actually won some brownie points by playing Bon Jovi after one of the breaks.
Yeah.
How did you know? Because I think he didn't know that you knew that he liked Bon Jovi. Did you get like a tip on that, or was it lucky?
Well, we just call that producer instincts.
Sure, I
You
suppose.
just knew.
I mean, I'd
Journalism.
like to explain,
Second insight,
I'd like to
or
explain
second
all the
sight.
methods, but some things just can't be taught.
Sure.
No, I figured he was because he's a Jersey Shore guy, and
Yeah.
and it's like literally the one Bon Jovi song that we have. So I'm like, let's play this one, and it worked out well.
I have an inside tip for you, which now everyone else knows, but per his son, who we're also good friends with, he's a big Springsteen guy.
Okay.
So if you have
Makes
any
sense.
if you have any Springsteen songs, specifically I think he liked Born to Run the most.
Okay.
Play that the next time he's in, and he'll be the happiest guy in the room.
Or just get a drum kit, and he's going to ask you to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that could
that's what
happen.
I
He
saw
loves
that.
just seeing people play drums.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. So that would be a great get for the office. Does Barrero even like watching people play drums?
We have a gong in the office for
Really?
the sales pay. Yeah,
There you go.
My kids, like whenever they get a sale, they gong it, or they used to at
Yeah.
least.
A gong. That'd be great. We
Yeah.
need one of
I was
those here.
no, we do, but at the same time, it would get misused.
It would- it might break.
I
Yes.
think back to the Wolf of Wall Street, where they throw what's the correct term? The little people into the gong.
Oh yes.
That's the first thing that enters my head when
Yeah.
I think about a gong.
Let's do that.
Not that we would do that. That enters my head though, as
Yeah.
the only association I have to a gong.
Our producer
Josie's
is
face
losing
is
it.
red.
He's red, yeah.
Oh,
Just lost him.
goodness.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Hummingbird.
the Hummer bit.
Full circle.
Oh, jeez.
I wish all of you could have seen my brother-in-law. I've never seen a guy move that fast out of a conversation.
He's just done.
like
He's
just
out.
wanted nothing to do with explaining why his mother-in-law just completely stepped in it.
Just a quick Mother's Day Homer. Oh
He
my
had Chipotle
God.
last night. He's good.
It's May. It's fair.
What happened?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
All
He
right,
had some Chinese, but
I can tell you prepared though. I mean,
Yeah, look at
Oh,
this.
we got
Look at this.
questions.
We got a
we're
sheet.
ripping. Look
The-
at
the-
you.
the
Do you guys all have the same questions?
Oh,
Or do you
yeah.
do
Yeah,
different
it's-
things?
I mean, we all
it's-
kind of put together, organize it a little bit. I mean, we're journalists, so
yeah.
we
It's,
gotta know what we're doing.
Not to get too
sort of.
technical, but if you know how Google Drive works,
Yeah.
everyone can contribute to the same document.
Oh yeah.
Sheet is up, and if it's on the sheet, it's true.
We had to explain that to the Has-Been guys, our national championship UND podcast. Is we were like, yeah, we all share one sheet.
Like,
Like, oh, we all just write down the same questions. And it's like, Guys,
It's gonna be a little disorganized.
It's 2023. We have the technology.
Next
Journalism
time
101.
Next time I talk to Chestnut, I'm gonna send you guys a Google Doc.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
can
God.
we can add some questions.
We have
we
so
can,
many
we
questions.
can ask you
And
some shit.
I'll give you permission.
You might have to delete half of them, but
That's where I always get stuck is they send it to me and I don't have permission somehow because I'm not like really in the group.
Right.
And I'm like, can you just add me?
just add me so I
know,
don't have to
'cause-
send the email
you know what?
permissions.
It's like, yeah, I need permission. Then at your back, it's back on your plate. Like, just how do I get permission?
So the
technology.
next time you interview Chestnut in like a media setting, bring one of us with. I mean, obviously you only have enough room for like the KFAN equipment, but for us, we can just do one of those awkward interviews where we film him and just blurt
Yeah.
questions out. Be
A
like,
lot of people do
How
that.
much do you eat when you're high? Well, a little. I guess I don't really do marijuana. Blah blah. Do you eat like this on a normal day? And you can't see the guy asking the question.
How long are you on the toilet the next
Those
day?
are the most awkward interviews. So just bring one of us with for that, and that'll be
It'd be good. It'd be gold journalism.
That was the question you just asked was a question that Saul Phillips, who used to coach at NDSU basketball,
Really?
who we got to know really well. He was the coach at Ohio now. Now he's at Northern State, D2. That's what he asked him.
Really?
As he got done, he just said, "Hey, I just got to know, like, you get done, like the next 45 minutes, like, what's that like?
Yeah, what's the toilet situation?
Yeah. Like, what is that?" And just how he said it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Trying to be serious.
what is that like?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you really want to know?" And I'm like, "I don't."
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Saul, good to see you. We'll see you at next year's
Journalism.
Final
Yeah.
Four.
You can have the conversation.
Let's just
with
say
them,
the
but-
hot dogs come out as fast as they go in.
Yeah.
If you can picture that.
They're not digested.
It's like a pendulum.
Oh, that'd
it's like
be- that's brutal
It's
to
a,
think
it's a
about.
pendulum. It's the same speed.
Oh, man.
You know.
Well, we've
Jeez, I
we,
can't even-
we told you
I
a little
put a bad
earlier.
image
We had
in
a
it.
kid named Bubba, and he used to do food challenges for us. That's where that 7th Avenue pizza cut
He actually
things
won
comes
that
from.
one, yeah.
But yeah, there's been times where we've driven him back home from challenges, and the whole time we're driving home, he's just making the weirdest noises in the front
I would
seat.
imagine.
Well,
Yeah.
also he poorly prepped, and I brought him up because he messaged Joey Chestnut and kept tagging him, and Joey Chestnut blocked him
Yeah,
on
'cause
social
he
media.
was
'Cause
talking shit.
He kept saying, "I could out eat you, motherfucker." Like, no, you can't. Like, he poorly prepped. Like, Bubba poorly prepped for these challenges. He wouldn't eat anything. It's like, dude, you don't want to fast yourself.
You gotta warm up a little
You
bit.
got to maybe eat like a light yogurt and drink a little bit of water. Maybe eat a salad. Just keep your stomach
Yeah.
not constricting.
A
He would
basketball
eat
player,
nothing.
a basketball player doesn't just go out there without shooting a 3 or 2.
Exactly.
You gotta get loose.
You got to warm up, loosen up the stomach like he does drinking water and all that stuff. And he poorly did that. And he calls out the best one of the best athletes of all time. So,
Yeah, don't come at the king like that. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of respect, I think, Bubba.
no, he doesn't respect him.
come on.
Well, Bubba was actually, I don't know if you remember, he was number 1 on
Josh Brayton.
Josh Bratton's
Bratton's,
list.
that's it.
Josh Bratton, one of us Hollywood actor guys.
Josh
Yeah.
Bratton,
Yeah.
yeah. He, guest on the podcast as well. He had a list like a couple years ago, puts out the top 10 Minnesota personalities, whatever. Bubba was number 1 over Dan Barrero,
Think about it.
which is very
As
strange.
Josh would say, think about it.
Yeah,
That is
think about it.
That is like a whoa moment. Like
Yeah.
whoa.
I shocked a lot of us. But
Yeah,
as Josh said, it was a list.
Yeah,
We were-
it was the list.
was a list.
It was the list, I
Well,
guess.
and Barrero's reading it out on air, and he goes, "I came in second on the list to a Bubba 10K. Who is this Bubba
Bubba
10K?"
Yeah, didn't have to, you got the soundbite that you used?
Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah.
Krasinski. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah, John said
Krasinski
it.
was on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
he-
they're part of some empire called 10,000 Takes.
Yeah,
and
he had to
said-
explain
yeah.
it to him.
We saw it coming.
Yeah,
We knew.
And then, well, yeah. Are we an empire now?
You were then. I don't know about
Oh,
now.
now okay.
Yeah.
We're like
We've,
Rome when they fell, right?
Yeah,
We've
we
plateaued.
were Rome.
Yes.
We plateaued.
All right, well, I don't want to delay your Google Doc anymore. So what?
Well,
what
yeah,
do we got?
goodness.
you
What are
guys
what are
scroll on the.
questions?
Jake doesn't even have the Google Doc pulled
does.
up.
Well,
Well,
his phone.
I memorize it.
Wow.
So I do on my
See,
phone, but it's off.
Fucking A.
We prepared the Google Doc just in case the guest is boring, but you've been a great job of not being boring, so we
why
haven't
you
even
have me.
needed it.
Yeah.
So
Is that a
far.
rip on other guests?
We don't have to.
This
tell
is
them
all
that.
natural
jeez.
right now.
No, all of our guests have been
Hey,
fantastic.
well, what about
Well,
this question? It's on the sheet here. We had Tommy O on a few weeks ago, and he said that we're going to go from a running football team for the Minnesota Gophers to a passing football team this year. Do you think? Can you see that actually happening? Do you believe in the new quarterback?
Those are two questions.
Yes.
Yes, I believe in the quarterback. They love Ethan Kaliakmanis.
I mean, praying mantis.
Like, love him. Like, off the record, love him. Like, we need to find dudes that can catch for this guy. Love him.
Like
So-
break 2 oars for him
Yeah,
instead of
like,
1.
Like the next oar I bring you, like it'll be cut. This will even
Yeah,
be cut in half.
even
It'll just
further.
be the boat.
Yes.
And then I'm going to give row to somebody else.
Yes.
So, however, I'm going to have to see it
Before, yeah, okay, I got
because I know. I mean, PJ Fleck has a very specific way that he wants to win football games. Like even when he was at Western Michigan, like I assumed him like, oh, they're winning like 64-10 every week. They're just rolling through the MAC. Like the numbers just must be insane. And then you look and it's like 35 runs, 35 passes. Like it would be almost 50-50. Or like he is so old school, like because he firmly believes what he firmly believes, like how to win football. That it's not making mistakes, it's controlling the clock, it's controlling the ball. Now we'll see if last year, because I think that's hurt him a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, like everyone points to the Iowa game. Like, I mean, now I said the next day, if Mo doesn't fumble, like we
win that game.
No one cares. No one's talking about it.
Yeah.
What they're saying is they just ran it right down Iowa's throat, which nobody does. But Mo fumbled for, I think, the 4th time in his career.
Yeah, like the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
After rushing for 200 plus yards.
It was ridiculous
or whatever.
how he just dominated that
man.
game. So,
Yeah.
but we're here to talk about the future.
Right.
And so I'm gonna have to see it. I think they will, because I think they've got some good receivers in the portal. Chris Ottman-Bell is back. Brevin Spanford came back. Like, I think part of the reason they all came back is because the guys believe in Ethan as well. Like, even talking to one of the funniest moments on the field last year, I think it was the Nebraska game when Tanner got hurt.
Yeah.
So Ethan came in. They were down at halftime. He brings them back.
Yeah.
Right. And
Unreal.
they're in the shadow of his own end zone. They do a play action pass. He throws it into the wind like 40 yards. They catch it, go for score on that drive. I'm pretty sure that was the game where after it, Tyler Newman, I interviewed him on the field, and I said, so you see Ethan like every day. Like, tell us a little bit about him. And he said the F word on the show, or on the broadcast.
Nice.
Became
FCC.
the
Nice.
second Gopher to say the F word, the first being Coe Keefe.
Oh,
After-
yeah.
after
Beautiful.
they beat
Another
road
Wisconsin.
guy.
good friend of the,
Yeah.
of the
He's
podcast.
tremendous guy. Coe didn't apologize. Tyler did. No, I mean, Coe did. Tyler was like mortified, like talking about like apologizing on the bus, apologizing on the plane. I'm like, Tyler,
It happens.
no one cares.
Cole's more of like a, sorry type
he's
guy.
like,
but
we're
We're just
that's it.
happy.
Yeah, I said
don't
no
care.
one. In fact, everybody loves that you did that.
Yeah.
His mom gave him crap on Twitter. You know,
Beautiful.
and he's like, "I'm sorry, Mama," but what he said was he's a bleeping baller.
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
said Ethan is an absolute baller. Tanner said the same thing after the Pinstripe Bowl. Like so I'm curious to see how it works. I'm curious to see what they do. Obviously, they have a different coordinator now. So
Yeah.
with Harbaugh and Matt Simon, so things are gonna, I think, look a little bit different. But PJ is still old school, run the ball, ball control. Let's not give them opportunities to beat us. But so I think it's going to be fascinating to see how he plays it, because they're going to need right out of the gate. They play Nebraska.
Yeah.
Now, that's not like, it's not like the craziest test in the world, because who knows what they're going to be. But I mean, it's a Power 5 Big Ten program with a good coach.
Yeah.
And they got some dudes in the portal too. So you're not rolling in against New Mexico State to kind of see how it goes. Like, they're going to have to be ready on that Thursday night during the fair. But I would say, given what we saw from Ethan last year, just in his first experience, like, they'd be foolish not to let him go a little bit.
Yeah, I was going back to the Axe. I was at that game in Madison, sitting in the Wisconsin Badgers student section, which was.
Well, you're 26. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But like,
Why not?
I was in the mindset
With some
though.
shot shooters.
I've told the story on the show. Like, if we lost that game, I was in trouble, and I knew it. But I also knew that it was going to be the most satisfying place to be if we won. But just going back to what you were saying, like,
So
watching
which game? 18 or last year?
last year.
Oh, nice.
So watching Ethan's on the field, though,
Yeah.
I mean, I love Tanner. Tanner's a good friend, but like, this was fun to watch.
Totally
I mean,
different
he's,
guy. Yeah.
He can run, he can sling the ball, and he's so confident. He's the kind of guy who's like, I don't give a shit if this gets picked off.
I know.
We're gonna try to score. It's not like. But Tanner was like really good at the quick slants, and he didn't throw a ton of picks, whereas Ethan's is a little more gutsy.
He's a little more aggressive, but he's also can be accurate.
And
Like, we've
we
seen
can
it.
run
Yeah.
too, like he's quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new era. And you know what? If it is a pass heavy offense,
Yeah.
but like kind of what you said, I could see PJ being a little more safe than that
Yeah.
and like balancing it out. But like, it's gonna be a fun year.
So what was it like? Because Lemecki Brockington was running to the student section. So what was that like for you?
Well, so it was kind of funny because there was only like maybe 10 or 15 Gopher fans scattered throughout the student section, and I could see us all in unison after that fourth, and it kind of got scary at the end of the game, by the way.
Yeah.
But what happened? Did they went 4 and out, right?
Who?
On like
Wisconsin.
Like
they
their-
brought in that like third string
on
quarterback.
like their goal line.
And they were cooking, but then they got like 3 false start penalties.
Yeah.
in a
Or
row.
that's what kept
Yeah,
happening.
but they were done.
It was like 3rd and
Then they
50
were
at
done.
one
Yeah,
point.
they went back to
But
like the 40-yard line.
we all just started to we didn't say anything. We all just started doing this simultaneously, and you could see everyone because all the Badger fans, have their head in their hands.
Yeah.
So but we were standing on the bleachers doing this, And I went there with a ton of my buddies who are Badger fans, and we took a photo after the game, and I'm the only one smiling in the photo.
Yeah, it's
And
very fulfilling.
It was such a great. That was my first time at Camp Randall too. So.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, it's fun too because usually after all the like players and managers and everybody like gets a picture with the axe, usually I'll take one. Why not?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's there.
And I send it to everybody I know that has any sort of Wisconsin tie.
Yep.
And like one of them has like 2 pictures for me in the last 7 years, and they're all axe pictures. It's just
Nice.
like I don't text him except pictures of me holding the axe.
And
in
I
hand.
hope
That's it.
there's no caption either.
Nothing.
Just that. Good.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll say Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Because it's always right around there. So
That's perfect.
Hope you had a good Thanksgiving weekend.
Yep.
We're taking this back.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh, but I don't know why I sent you this one. I meant to send a picture of my kid, and then you send the one from last time
Yeah.
too, and you're like,
Oh,
"Shit, I keep
2019.
I keep doing.
Oh,
I
here's
so bad.
2018.
I keep screwing this up.
But then if you have it, then if you text a wrong Badger fan who took a picture of the axe every year since 2003, then you're in for a rude awakening.
That's a lot of work for them, though.
Yeah,
so.
but there's a couple Badger fans like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That would do that 100%.
Well, I remember. Do you remember we? It was a few years back, and the Gophers lost to Wisconsin, but they
In
were
2019
like,
on
they,
College
they,
Game Day?
we had a random fan, like Wisconsin fan, like run up to us, and they were like, "How many Big Ten
right
championships have
behind
the
us.
Gophers won?
I turn
Zero.
around, how many national championships
Dude.
have the Badgers won? 0. And he shut up.
I'll tell
the
you
rest of
this
the game.
though, like from the experience of losing at home to the Badgers and being in Wisconsin, being away and winning, I feel like our fans were a lot nicer than the Badger fans that night. I
Yeah,
mean, they were
100%.
assholes at Sally's at least. Like they were. Every guy in the bathroom would scream in your face if you were wearing
know.
Gopher
They're
stuff.
not-
I didn't do like the only thing that would happen in Madison is just row the boat chant would start, which like
Right.
But
And
like
I would have a genuine conversation
Yeah.
with the other fans because I'm a normal human
right.
being.
So
well,
I
to
feel
an
like we're a
extent.
lot classier in that
Yeah.
sense, just from a
We're more
personal
classy.
experience.
And
I
you're a
would say.
Wisconsin native, so you can say that.
West side
Technically.
of Wisconsin. I'm closer to.
You're East Metro.
You're the only guy here that went to a cheese fest recently.
I did. You saw I went to Cheese
Yeah.
Fest.
Who missed it? Who
Clayton.
missed it?
They have
Yeah.
Fest.
they have lawnmower pulls there.
Sounds magical.
Sounds like something I'd really like to bet on if I could.
Wisconsin.
Dude, you posted on Snapchat like a video of the band playing,
Yep.
and they had a huge light show going on, and there was no one there.
No, yeah, it was kind of a tough scene at first.
Sparse
But
scene.
I was gonna say the best thing. I don't know if I posted this on Twitter, but the best part about the whole weekend was the bar called Seven Brothers that not a sponsor of the show, but they were selling beer outside by this concert area. And there was the prices on it, right? Coors Light $2, like Mick Golden $4, and next to that it said all proceeds go to the basketball team.
Oh,
The best 2 signs.
that
right
is Wisconsin small bar right there.
These
in a
kids.
nutshell.
These kids better be wearing Air Jordans for the
Yeah.
amount of money they have.
Yeah.
So
We do e-pull tabs for our community events. They just sell Coors Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did you see the? I'm just thinking of like bar sales. But
Is this
did you-
on the dock or did you come up with this?
what?
Right
Is it
now
on
is
the-
question?
No,
it
no.
on the
This is not.
document?
This is off the dock.
Oh, I'm worried about that.
No. This, we're going off the dock. This isn't really a question. I'm just saying. Did you see down in the College World Series, like LSU fans like ordered like 45,000 Jello shots?
That one lawyer, his receipt, yeah, it was like 500.
Was it one dude
It
that?
was, yeah, basically, it was 50 shots at a time. $10 a pop.
Damn, you just paying
Or
for
100
everybody.
times 5, whatever it was. It was like his receipt was just a consistent string of $500 charges.
it was probably
Wow.
Livy Dunn's sugar daddy.
Yeah. He kept.
Explains a lot.
He was trying to buy her some, but unfortunately, he just kept buying like everyone else.
Well, I guess I
Jello
gotta keep
shots.
this bit going until she eventually talks to me.
That makes a lot more sense. But I just saw like the ranking board they had at that bar, and it was just
Hilarious.
like 6,000. It was even crazy that all these other fan bases were buying thousands and thousands of Jello shots, and then you see LSU 45,000.
And you saw they had like Oral Roberts. It was like 9.
yeah. Oral Robert
No,
with
for
Super
real.
Christian School.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 9. It was
Yeah.
like 40,000. I don't know what the number was. But
Oh
it
my
was
gosh,
low.
that's his receipt.
Oh yeah, this is his receipt.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
I like the time you bought 59. Like, what was that for?
59.
Like, just sandwiched between a couple hundreds. It's
Well,
like,
he's
yeah,
like,
hold
I'm gonna
on,
order
59.
50. Oh, I want one too. This guy wants one. This guy, Livy Dunn wants one. She can have 5.
Joe
Yeah,
Burrow
actually,
wants
you know
one. Ryan Clark wants one. Stromile Swift wants one.
Yeah, yeah.
Basketball shout out 03.
Yeah,
59.
Yeah. I maybe know this guy over here. Give him a
Shaquille
shot
O'Neal wants
too.
one.
Yeah.
Give it to LSU.
That's not Shaquille O'Neal. Just get him one.
You can
That's
have
probably
5.
shit's
You can have
happening
10.
out there.
Livy Dunn can have the Amex card. You can have
Yeah.
5 shots.
That's-
No, I was gonna say though the
crazy.
Final Four is it here next year
No, it's
or
in-
is it 2 years?
No, it was here in 2019.
I don't know if it's coming
not
back.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Frozen Four.
Frozen
Yes,
4 is coming
Frozen
back here
4.
next year. Yes.
There's a bar like a Dinkytown bar should do something like that. That'd actually be kind of fun. And I feel like hockey fans got to be even more rabid.
Tom
about.
Reed's Hockey City Pub should do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy.
Do that in my Kevin Fallness place. Tom Reed's
Oh yeah,
Hockey City
duh,
Pub.
because it wouldn't be at Mariucci, it'd be at the
Yeah.
X.
The
They
X is
should.
where they play hockey.
Yeah, correct.
I thought it was football.
Oh.
They should.
no.
Yeah, Tom Reed should do that. It should be which fan base will buy the most shots.
Oh, because hockey could be rough.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you get like North Dakota in there,
Yeah.
or Duluth,
That'd be
Even like
that'd
some
be
of the-
electric.
throw St. Cloud in there maybe.
You throw like a BU, like another East Coast team, and they travel well. Like, oh goodness.
that could be
and then Quinnipiac 9.
Yeah, just 9, but then they'll win it all.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Quinnipiac
clearly.
-5 because they said no, we don't drink those on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We're too classy for
Quinnipiac,
that.
geez.
We're too smart for that.
And then you should, Barrero, and you can do a show live from Tom Reed's City Hockey Pub.
We
And
would do it, man. Especially
Yeah.
if the Gophers were there, we would do it. We love doing shows like for good stuff. Like the best shows, my favorite shows were the ones we did right when Parisi and Suter were here, like 12, 13, 14, when like we were going 6 games against the Black, like winning series.
Yeah.
Like we do it outside, like right there at 7th and
yeah.
Kellogg. It was just on fire.
they actually made it to the when they actually made it to the second
Yeah.
round for a couple years there.
Yes, it was great. It was great. All right, but we're thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about the
Let's talk
future.
Let's move on. Let's
There-
get back to the doc.
I saw you retweeted our the bit about when as soon as the Wild's cap space goes away and
God,
we
that
get
was
out of
good.
prospect pipelines, that we'll win the cup. That's what we've been talking about though for the last few years. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
That man right there will do it.
He's
Yeah.
the guy.
I believe in him.
Bill
fully.
Guerin's not a guy. He's the
I
guy.
believe in him fully.
Do we have what?
fucking winning.
Do we have 2 more years of the buyouts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And these are the worst 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
So year 3, look for that Stanley Cup.
Trial by fire.
Yeah. And I heard a rumor that Austin Matthews' contract is up when the buyouts are
Yep.
up. That's all I'm saying.
That's the guy you use
Although
all your money
that's
into.
also
put all
a
your
guy.
money into.
That's a guy who refuses
Watch.
to take a pay cut though to win a cup because him and all those Toronto guys
Although it would be more worth it.
made way too much money last
Watch
year.
them like we just get the buyout done, and all of a sudden 12-year contract goes to Connor McDavid. He's like 30 years
Yeah,
old.
but he'd probably like stop playing hockey in 4 years, and we'd have to pay him for 8.
I know
more.
we'd be in another buyout or like
It'd be-
another cap space
yeah,
hell.
It'd be like a moronic size
What
contract.
are we doing here? I don't think Bill would ever.
He wouldn't do that, though.
No, he knows.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude, and like JG. I mean,
It's the best.
he's a smart dude. I like how he's like he'll just like give you shit for like no reason. Like he was criticizing our friend for the way he was wearing his hat. Like it was hilarious. Like, one of our buddies was wearing a hat and a stocking hat over
the
his
hat, yeah.
and he was just grilling him about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And then the rest of the night, even though we weren't around Bill Guerin, he had his stocking hat in his hand the whole
Yeah, he
time.
ruined him.
Yeah, he's like,
Bill
dude, you
Guerin
can put it
broke
back on. He's like, no, dude, I'm good, dude.
Yeah, no.
Bill's like, well, you told Bill about that the next time you saw him. He goes, I feel fucking awful for
I
that.
feel horrible. No, don't feel bad about it. It's funny.
Hockey chirps. There's
it's-
nothing like a good hockey
Oh,
chirp.
yeah.
I'm the only guy that grew up in Edina. I know it's a shock. It's not on
Oh,
the dock.
you're a cake eater?
Yeah, but I'm the
Oh.
only guy that grew up there that can't skate. Like
Oh.
literally can't skate. It's embarrassing. But I love a good hockey chirp, man. Nobody's better at chirping than the hockey guys.
Are you saying there weren't any chirps with tennis?
We talked about this.
Yeah,
the
we
last
did.
time.
But
Yeah.
there was nothing. I
Was
think
that
you
on-
said there was.
You've got the 2018 Google Doc.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have that question on this sheet.
Recurring
apparently.
question.
No, there were. We talked about there were. I mean, they're like sad.
Yeah.
When you think about
Not
it.
compared to hockey.
we made that video called Tennis Chirps.
Yeah.
Didn't
Didn't
do
do
well.
as well.
No,
Because I don't think it registered because people couldn't relate. But we tried to get something
see
to
if
the
I can
tennis
find
world.
that.
We tried to bring chirps into tennis, and
Yeah,
it
let's
didn't
really
work.
bring it back.
Yeah,
This has
we'll
got to
do
be
tennis chirps
somewhere.
part
Maybe it
two.
was just the wrong time.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Here's the
2023 is the
here's
better
the
time
sheet
to
for
introduce
it.
that.
All right, you rank these. Stick to that forehand motion you do in the shower, bud. Is there a
That's number one,
Is there a
obviously.
bathroom at this tennis club? Because I'm about to drop a deuce.
Yep.
Hey, did you know that there was a net there? Really? You've hit it 6 fucking times. Only thing you serve yourself is some carbs, you fat fuck.
Oh God.
Guy misses it. I don't think the balls are big enough. You've probably heard that one before, though. Your racket must be missing some strings, buddy. That went right through it. Looks over the fence. This isn't a home run derby, Barry Bonds. You work in computers. You're a fucking hack. All right, 15 love. That's the only love you'll ever have. And then, hey, ball boy, you want to play a game? This guy can't even score a point. Are those good?
We can edit things out of this, right?
Yes, we can.
Probably
Yes.
should.
Yes.
Probably
yeah.
should.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's all cut.
Yeah,
Cut it.
everybody just stay still.
But all right, cut. No.
He-
All right, going to another
he's
topic.
He's
Those
like,
are pretty
shit.
good.
I should have used
I
some of
should have
those.
used those 20
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
What might have happened for my career.
But you were the champ though, so like someone would
Weren't you
have
a
had to,
two-time
they
champ?
you would have had to say these to them because you weren't ever missing the ball. Or,
Yeah, right. No, there's some decent ones. The drop a deuce one's good. That's got some potential.
Yes.
It's got some potential. Some of them maybe not, but
Yeah.
that's why you workshop them.
Right.
I like how you
recently,
have
can
that
refine
saved.
'em.
Like,
That's a
hey,
Google
Oh,
Doc.
yeah.
Make
It's a
sure
Google Doc.
We might want to go back to tennis chirps. Let's make sure we have that one on.
Oh yeah,
on
it's
demand.
archived.
We
Yeah.
can do it. We can do a part 2.
We even have ping pong chirps. We won't bother you.
Well, here's
with
how
them.
you update it to 2023 is it's pickleball chirps.
Oh, yeah,
Because everybody I know from the tennis world, like all my old friends, like I'll see them at Lifetime or something, or our kids will have something like, "You playing pickle yet?"
Oh, pickle.
I guess that's
So-
the kind of new trend to do, isn't it?
New trend. It's like the fastest growing sport in America.
Yeah.
It's insane. They're hollowing out shopping malls to put pickleball courts up. It's crazy.
I did a class in college for pickleball. I got a credit for just showing up and playing
See?
pickleball.
So you're one up on a lot
It
of
was
people.
like the best day of my week when I got
We
to show
played
up and play
pickleball in
pickleball.
like junior high for like 3 days.
Yeah, I told my Uncle Rich and Aunt Carol, I'm like, you guys started this back in Decorah High School in 1985. We'd go visit them in Iowa when they were gym teachers. We're going to go play pickleball.
And you're like, what the hell is pickleball?
Yeah.
You literally hitting a pickle? That's literally what you probably thought back then.
It almost
Work on your chirps.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it seems like one of those games that started like because the school had like funding issues and they were like, well, we have wiffle balls, we have tennis balls, let's invent this new game, and then it just caught on.
ping pong on a tennis
Yeah, we have
court?
ping pong paddles and wiffle balls.
Yeah.
What do we do?
This whole
What are we gonna call it?
This $200 budget.
This
in this
pickle tastes good.
town of 80
Pickleball.
people. Yeah,
Pickleball.
there you
It's
go.
fun. I don't. I always tell them I don't play pickle, but I will. I do.
You don't pick, bro. You don't doink. Is that the word they use?
You be pickle yet?
Is it?
I'm like, no, I don't pickle yet, brah.
You don't pickle yet?
Is the pickleball scene just dominated by ex-tennis players then?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Correct.
old people.
Retired people. I was
Old
gonna
people.
say.
Yeah, old
That got
people
tired
play
of
it.
golf
Essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, that want to get a little cardio.
Yeah.
Wanna play a little doubles
and
pickle.
not hold up.
But
my
they don't want to
twosome
play
at a
tennis
golf course.
because tennis is way more work.
Tennis is
Yeah,
harder.
you're right.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, I see it like they've taken courts at all the Lifetimes. Like like the first court that used to be like where I played. That's like four pickleball courts now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did
So
you ever
it-
play
yeah.
racquetball in college?
No.
Or Zane and I played a lot.
we
of
were
that.
big racquetball guys in college.
Yeah, the pickle's just waiting for you guys. You could do it.
The pickle.
Yeah.
You could do a whole tournament. You could do charity. Like,
Dill pickleball.
You can throw so much action on those things
Yes.
too. Like you get if you figure out the spin, there were people in
Yeah.
my gym class that I got a credit for that knew the spin and they were impossible to play
yeah,
against.
no, there's some potential here for you guys. So that's the
Okay.
chirp. So that's why I'm here to help
Yep.
you guys out a little bit.
Pickleball chirps. I think we gotta play and just like not like get into the character and find out the real pickleball character. And
We got to
really,
be total chads about it.
We gotta be
though.
Chads, Tods. We gotta get into the character.
Show up with all the sweatbands,
Yeah.
the backwards hat.
We gotta like Google. We gotta research this like pickleball guy.
Yeah, I saw a dude.
On
One of the
Google.
guys that he's going to try to build a pickleball court in his backyard.
Jeez.
And I saw him drop off his daughter at school one day, like full pickleball outfit.
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, he's looking like Lance Armstrong with like because
That's
like,
the
it's like
pickleball
spandex,
outfit?
but not really.
Yeah.
like, it's,
So short shorts,
Kind of like going
Yeah.
on Tour de France, but
yeah, a little.
without all the
little
drugging,
loose.
the doping.
Yeah.
And I
not
just looked at
losing
him
one
like,
ball.
oh, he's going to play pickle. And apparently he looked like a NASCAR driver with all like the patches and stuff. I'm like, I know I'm not watching him on TV. So like, who
Yeah.
did he get
where are
that?
you playing that you need to be like this sponsored?
It's
or
crazy.
something
Has
like that?
pickleball entered? I'm guessing the answer is yes. This is a serious question. Like the country club community, because you know
Absolutely.
because a lot of
so.
country clubs have tennis courts as well.
Yeah.
It is infiltrated.
They have infiltrated the pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and this is really a compelling pickleball discussion, by the way. I'm enjoying
this
this.
is deep.
Yeah.
There was an HBO Real Sports thing because it's gotten so big, like, and so many courts have been converted to it. What's happened in the neighborhood they profiled was Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh,
Which
I
is
can't
like
imagine.
just a quiet town of Todd's.
Yeah.
And it's a cool place. You can see why the Kennedys wanted to build a place there. But these quiet neighborhoods, the only thing that they hear now is just the thumping of the pickleball. And it's just driving people crazy. And so they've had to do all these things like pickleball hours, build higher walls, because like communities that used to be these sleepy, quiet communities now have pickleball everywhere, and it's driving the neighbors insane. So just something to keep in mind.
It's kind of a loud, like weird sound.
Yes, it is.
It's like bonk.
And it's just going on nonstop. There was another in that story, like a club out in California. used to have like 40 tennis courts. Now it has 20, and the rest are pickleball.
Damn.
Like, so yeah, this is your next move right
So
here.
you
I didn't
saying-
realize
are you
that it was
saying-
that big.
yeah.
I mean, I knew a lot of people were playing it.
So you're saying that the sound of a pickleball on a paddle is louder than a tennis ball on a racket?
Yes, and the players, because it's such a fun social game, are
Just
going crazy
Yeah.
with
Oh,
sellies,
yeah.
and they're loud.
You gotta
and, oh my
imagine,
God,
yeah.
Blanche! They're just like insanely loud.
Yeah, this is a story from 2021. Pickleball noise is driving neighbors to build
Yeah,
new walls. See if I
exactly.
can get a sound in
And
here.
look at the social crew here. Yeah.
Oh, look at it. It's a ton of old women.
Yeah,
Oh,
too. Yeah,
geez.
there's Betty and Barb and Blanche.
Oh, my
and
God.
Karen, Becky.
Yeah, listen to the sound.
Oh yeah.
So just all day.
That's just a new just
It's like it's super
bring
high.
a new meeting to
it's
build the
super
wall.
high pitched. I think that's like the tennis sound. That could be background noise at some point, but
Yeah.
it's like a really high pitched sound. It's like a bonk.
Like
Yeah.
just literally. Oh,
You gotta think those players aren't grunting like tennis players, though, are they?
But the points happen fast, and the things are all like you can really get moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's good points, and like they go nuts.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
No, the first time I ever played it was at Matt Brown's graduation party, and it's electric playing it in a northern Minnesota city with a bunch of people who've played it a bunch before.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a fast spreading.
So
sport.
just invite me to your charity tournament next summer.
Yeah,
You know,
we're gonna-
get this thing organized.
Yeah, we're doing a golf one, and now we're gonna do a pickleball.
You'll be the celebrity appearance.
Yeah.
Former high school state champion, two-time.
two-time.
The two-time.
Two-time.
Allegedly,
The two-time.
even though the
Justin
second
Gaard
time
is-
isn't documented.
You'll
There
show
you
up
go.
and give like
Okay.
a 10-minute like tip.
Yeah. Then I'll leave.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'll shake a few hands. But that's what sucks about like most charity events are golf events.
Yeah.
And when you didn't grow up playing golf, that's tough, especially when you're like the celebrity of the group and people have paid to have a celebrity in the group. They either want it to be a big celebrity, like a Viking,
You're not a big celebrity.
not in some of these.
Oh, okay.
So I can always tell by the group that they put me with, like, oh, you guys like just got a free, you like worked at Rush Creek, so you get to play. Like that's what I played with at Randy Shavers, like Joe Mauer, Paul Mauder, Tony Oliva. Like you just go on, it's just like Jack Morris. There's like 7 Hall of Famers. I'm like, Justin Gaard's here too. It's always kind of embarrassing, and I'm not very good at golf. So like, because some teams like are out for blood, like they want to win the scramble.
Yeah.
which to me is absurd.
It is. especially
Relax,
know
that
people
guys.
like
person.
that.
Yeah, and you're just like, hey guys, can we chill a little bit? Like, let's not. I don't care how many mulligans you bought. Like, we're not going to have a 10-minute.
We're here for
discussion on every
charity.
hole. Like,
This isn't the U.S. Open.
insane.
Because there's no
Going for-
scouts here. I mean, you could just at least sit in the cart, drink beer, and putt. Like, even
Yeah,
if you're not
I
good at
always
golf,
knock in a couple of putts.
everyone can putt.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
usually
beauty.
knock in a putt or two. Tell a story about PJ Fleck breaking the
Yeah.
the oar.
That's the value you bring.
That's exactly right. That's
The
exactly right.
stories. Well, I was gonna say you get so many benefits for these charity golf tournaments. Like the golf is just the minimal part of it. It's the you can get the prizes, the stuff you get with it, and the dinners and the banquets and all that stuff, and then the charity,
the
of
raffle,
course.
yeah.
The raffles, the prizes. Like the golf is just to get outside and have a good time.
Correct.
And then there are guys we know. There are people that we know personally that are we won't put their name out
It
there.
seems like
but-
you want to name names.
No, we
Yeah.
don't. We don't need to name names that legitimately want to win our charity tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
Eli.
though we're not allowed.
yeah. Our buddy Eli.
We're not allowed
Yep.
to. It's a dick move if we win
our
our
buddy.
own charity tournament. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we would never try to.
That's
win
why
it.
we haven't.
That's
won
why
it the
we
last
haven't
couple
won
years.
it.
No,
Exactly.
we
You guys are
purposely
too good
try.
at
I
dodging.
Way too
purposely, push putts way to the right. That's not on purpose.
That's why you shanked it all last year.
We
Yeah,
took
yeah.
we took our first year, and we figured
purpose.
that was also a bad look. So we were like middle of the pack.
Yeah,
last
just
year.
do enough just to
fourth
get
to
in there.
last, I think, last year.
This year we'll take second just to kind of scare people a little bit.
Yeah.
Make them think.
But yeah, make them like, hey, these guys aren't totally out of it.
But it is funny to picture like what would happen if we won it and we gave it to ourselves. Like, oh, here you go, you give it to yourself and pocket it. Like, what do you do if you
Bad
win,
luck.
if you win your own charity tournament?
we need to do that one of these
We'll
years.
find out.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
There's only
we're
one
not going to
answer.
do that one of these years. That is an
No.
off-air conversation.
Correct.
That's
Okay, we're going to go to the sheet here if you're
Yeah.
cool
Yeah,
with that.
going back to the doc.
Back to the sheet.
But we recently shared a graphic made by someone named Matt Surley on our Instagram, and essentially he ranked every worst city in every single state. Edina was the choice for Minnesota. I just was wondering what your thoughts were on that.
Probably someone that wasn't allowed in there.
That's such an Edina
prestigious.
response.
Yeah, who never got to stop, just had to drive through.
They weren't
So
allowed.
it seemed unwelcoming.
Weren't allowed to get out of the car, but just to see.
Some casual, some
yeah.
middle class casual.
They had like, when they're working on a road and it goes down to one lane and they've got the guy that says slow and stop and then you got to wait. The guy just stood there, said stop, and he never got to move.
Turn around.
Yeah,
Eventually.
that's the only yeah, turn around. Yeah. Have you gotten the hint yet?
Yeah.
No. That doesn't surprise me. My reaction is that doesn't surprise me
Okay.
that we would be called that. And now that I live in Minnetonka, which is like exactly the same,
Edina 2.0.
pretty much, because it's just people that like grew up in Minnetonka that still live there. It's weird. Sauce and I are basically switching lives because I live in Minnetonka. My kids go to his elementary school, and where he just bought a house with his wife, if they have kids, they will go to my elementary school. So it's like we've just basically done bizarro life. So I
Yeah.
can't tell if he's doing better than me or I just really screwed up. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we're kind of just flipping.
Time will tell.
Yeah, it's too early right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But so yeah, I kind of live in the same spot now, essentially. But yeah, I can see. I'm glad I don't live in Edina. Mostly because almost everybody that I know lives there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you can't go anywhere without seeing someone or someone's brother, and the people that I want to still see, I still see, and
Right.
still talk to. So, and the people that still live in Edina, like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Yeah.
I've talked to you before.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, and here's the other thing too is they'll always like, it's weird when, like, they know everything that's going on with me because I'm on the radio
Every day, yeah.
and so I'm like, yeah, that's my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, you tried to like bully me in the commons at high school. Like, we're
Yeah.
not bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not how it's gonna go. So,
Hey, can I get on the radio show? Can I get on with the segment?
Yeah, I was
Well,
just
and
talking
that's-
with you about something. We
Yeah.
should go golf sometime. I'm like, no.
I don't.
good.
I don't like you.
Do you pickle? Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I'll play pickle
Do
with
you
you.
pickle?
no,
But-
we're good.
No, not pickleball. Do you pickle onions and peppers and all that? No, that's even weirder.
I've kind of experienced that too, though. Now, like when you go back home, is they ask you all these questions because we're public about what we do, and then like I don't know what to ask them, and I feel like a dick.
Yeah.
Dude,
So I'm
well,
like, I don't know what you've been up to because you never post anything.
JJ and I have gotten to the point where people who were actually bullies to us in school have been like, hey, let's hang out.
Or just didn't even give us a bat and like didn't even look at us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not that we need to go to our teenage years, but it's always interesting.
Yes,
We're always
it
like,
is.
Huh,
Wow.
that's funny. That's
I would
interesting.
have liked this
What do you
10
do
years
now?
ago. Yeah.
They're,
Oh, you work for your dad? That stuns
cool.
nobody.
well, and then they're
Well,
like,
you
You won
so,
third place in your local softball league? Good.
and then they're like, oh, can I meet Kirk one day? And then you're like, yeah, I'm on Cameo at Kirk Impersonator.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
pay
yeah,
$20.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Send me a message for $2.
The only thing I like seeing my friends' parents that still live there. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
them or whatever. But yeah, and my wife is not from anywhere near here. She's from up north. So she's bored with all of it. So even to like, to take her like into the fortress is a pain in her ass.
Oh, I
because
bet.
she's like, I don't care about this person. I don't care about, like, she doesn't care about how awesome I was in high school. It's her least favorite topic.
Doesn't care about your radio.
No,
thing.
which is fine. But so it's always like, because we'll go and it's 100% that I'll run into somebody that I kind of know.
Yeah.
It's that small of a town, and so many people still live there that I'll know either their brother, their sister, their wife, their dad, whatever. So it's good. So I really got out and lived in Minnetonka.
You got out of the Green
I
Empire.
really moved away.
How often do you get, like, besides Edina, how often do you get, like, recognized for just being you in public? Is it often or not really? I always wonder that as a radio person.
It's I mean, it's kind of a really douchey thing to answer.
Yeah.
Without sounding like a total douche. It's changed a lot since the TV stuff started.
Yeah, I
The
assume,
Fox?
Yeah.
TV stuff changed it a lot, and with social media, but mostly TV, like where it's more recognizable.
Yeah.
which is I mean, it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
it is fun.
I mean,
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's you guys know, it's like it's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah. Well,
Like,
we were.
That's why we all got it. I mean. It's always funny to me when people are like, "Oh, I just hate getting recognized." I'm like, "Well, then go do something else."
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Go
what did you think
put
was-
your face away.
No.
Yeah,
No.
what did you think was going to happen? Like, it's a great deal. Frank Sinatra had the best. I can't remember who it was. You could look this up. Googled it. Not in the doc. Okay.
Yeah.
Lighten up and swing, man. Just Google that quote. Lighten up and swing, man. Frank Sinatra.
Lighten up and swing.
Because he wrote a note to somebody.
Oh, I gotta I gotta add Frank Sinatra.
You should spell swing with a G.
Oh, I did swin.
The G is silent.
Oh, typos.
Swin.
Typos are my
G
bit.
is
So
silent. George Michael.
George
So
Michael.
George Michael was like publicly complaining about the trappings of fame, and now I've said this too. Like, I can't imagine being like A-list famous.
Yeah.
Because there are times where like, you know, your kid's melting down at swim class or something, and someone's like, "Hey, Guardsy,
Yeah.
do you think Ethan's gonna like my kid?
Bro.
My kid is crumbling.
Jeez.
Like, I'm sitting here, you know, tarp soft swimsuit. My kids are crumbling. Like, let's not break down the all-22 on Vikings Bills.
Yeah, come on.
But I understand why like celebrities, like real ones, like the ones that are like A-listers, like that has to be just awful.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand like there's a lot of good things that come with that, but like to not literally be able to do anything in your life,
Be
that's
horrible.
why local famous is the best kind of famous.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You're famous enough to, you know, get to do cool things and have
But
cool experiences and be part of cool things, but also you can live like normally.
Yeah, I was also to say you're not as famous as to the point where like someone recognizes you, but then their friends like, I don't know who the hell you are.
Right.
Like that's happened with us. They're
Well-
like, who is this person?
Oh, that happens with me all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
It's always
That's
funny
the
when-
local famous.
Yeah, and someone will say like, "Oh yeah, he's on KFAN," and they'll be like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what?
So
What is
we-
that?
And she's like, "I'm sorry, I don't listen."
I'm
And
like,
he's
"No, it's fine."
I'm like, "Why would you apologize?" Like,
People apologize
yeah,
to
like
us.
live your life. Like, yeah, no worries.
I don't
We're
give a
good.
shit.
Yeah,
The funniest thing we get is like people like when we see like when people know us in public and they say like, oh, 10K takes, whatever. Some people like butcher the name of the company.
know the
although,
name.
like one guy said to Jake, "Oh, you're the 10 guy."
Yeah, are you one of the 10 guys?
Like, no, the company has more than 10
I'm like
guys
10,
in it. There's
10,
20 some
10,000
males in.
takes. Yeah. Or 10 takes, or that one guy called us 100K.
Yeah.
You guys are the 100K guys?
nice.
Cool. Yeah, we're 100.
Yep.
Yeah, 100K. Yep.
It's more friendly to just not correct them.
I've heard 10 takes a lot though.
Yeah, that one's the most common.
even from my own family.
But
like
the
10 takes.
But the 10 guy is the best I think
yeah,
I've heard though.
The 10 guy. You're the 10 guy. It's just gone from, you know, but you're like all these different variations of still using 1,000 of some sort, but then just 10.
Yeah.
You're just the 10 guy.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
We always get with the TV show. No one ever knows that it's called Enough Said.
Yeah.
Or they can't get there.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "You're the." What is that show?
Yeah.
She the woman. She tells you to stop talking. What? And so then they're like, "Stop talking." And what do they say? I'm like, "Do we need to keep? Do you want
Pardon
me to
the
tell you?"
interruption.
do you
Yeah.
do you want me to tell you, or do you want to keep guessing? Like, I'm fine either way. Thank you for
don't
watching.
care.
It's great, but no, like people are like, "Oh, we watch it every Friday night. We love that show," and they have no idea what the name
Yeah.
was. It just happened to Dan the other day at a grocery store. He's like, they had no clue what the name was, couldn't get there, and they all say the same thing. It's classic.
Those are people
Oh,
with us
man.
too, though, because they might only see like the podcast clips, and they're like, "Oh, these guys are from the 10,000 Takes podcast." And we're
That's
like,
all
not the
the
name of the
time.
podcast.
not the name of the show,
No.
but it,
10,000
you
Takes
appreciate the
podcast.
support though. But really quick, going back to Edina, we rip on Edina a lot, specifically with you, but we got to compliment it on one thing, and this is serious. Love the outdoor rinks there. I know you're not a skater,
Yeah.
but we always try to skate around here, and not to rip on Plymouth, but if there's a snowfall, it takes them like 4 days to plow off the rinks.
No,
We
that's
always
probably the
shoot
first thing
down-
they do.
We always shoot down to Edina because, like, even if it's still snowing, we know that we can play hockey there.
Arden
Yes.
Park.
Arden Park's
That's
a good
right
one.
where
Really
I
nice
grew
one.
up.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up. The two houses that we lived in were like, one was this way, one was that way.
Really?
Arden Park. Yeah, absolutely.
beautiful
the rink in
park.
the back there.
Yeah, it
Yep.
goes right in the
You
back
were
by the
so
woods.
you were that close to the rink, but you never skated.
No,
You
couldn't-
grew up in Edina and you
I
never
know.
skated.
Couldn't
You're
do
the
it.
best rinks.
I know.
Cake eaters.
What a
Hey.
missed opportunity.
He was too busy winning championships.
That's
You
right.
wouldn't-
Tennis.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
That's right.
You can't be a state champion at multiple things.
It's
That's
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very difficult. Very difficult to do. But that was. I think it's because a lot of like there's so many people that want to play hockey that actually like even with the kids stuff, I'm sure they have to use the outdoor rinks because like you can't have 50 mite teams all practicing at Braemar.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like so
We've seen
I-
practices going on at Arden
Yeah.
Park before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
Outdoor,
that's probably
they run on
why
a rink
like they
for 'em,
have
yeah.
to get it going.
It's a good sheet
They have
though.
like what they have 3 rinks at Braemar, don't they? Or is it just 2?
I can't. I know it's
There's
two for
three. There's
sure.
three.
I think
rinks
there's
there,
3
yeah.
definitely.
Well, growing
They
up from
still run-
Edina, they'd have 2B1 teams. They'd have 2B2 teams. They'd have 4C teams.
Yeah.
The amount of teams they had
It's
over there was crazy.
And we have that in Minnetonka too. Like
Yeah.
my 6-year-old's a mite. That's the funny
Yeah.
thing. My 6-year-old loves hockey. I'm like, all right, bro. Well, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Like,
Good luck.
We'll get you some coaches, and hopefully, Arlie's dad can help you because I'm not going to be able to help you much. But it's like. It's a total factory. I mean,
Yeah.
they just
That's
run, they just
nuts.
run the mites through, and then you got the squirts and
Good.
the peewees. It's crazy.
State champions and even Sammy Walker on the Wild now. Gopher. That's got to be your guy, right?
Well, that's what's changed. It's become such like it was always like a good hockey school. Like we went to state my junior year, but it was like a big upset. Like we beat Eden Prairie. And this is us, and we'll talk more about my high school career because I know people are interested.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But then all of a sudden, like they went on this run where they had like Anders Lee came over from St. Thomas, like Zach Budish played at the U. Like they got like we didn't have anybody. We had one guy play at the U eventually from that team. Like he transferred, good player. Now they just got like 7 dudes playing D1 every year. It's just insane. Like my best player we had, he played at Amherst College, was a D3 All-American. He's a big finance guy now. But like that was who we had. Now it's just like 8 D1 guys.
Yeah,
that's
just
everyone.
lined up.
Already drafted.
It's
like,
insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's because they've got 500 mite teams. They're all skating all the time. They're clearing off, if there's a snowplow. The snowplow didn't even hit the ground. They probably catch it on the way down.
Or there's
No, they have a basket.
We got Pee-wee's coming at 7. We got to get this off.
There's a chemical in the way they make the ice
Yeah.
where the snow just
it's
melts when it
crazy.
hits it.
It's
It's
insane.
all just expensive. Edina.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what they get. Edina.
Jake,
Well,
if you want to be the best, you got to pay.
I know. Well, they beat Burnsville.
Money
like 10
wins.
Years, 7 years in
Money
a row.
always
Hey,
wins.
let's not bring that up, please. Thank you.
did.
Thank you.
Section finals.
Shut up. Let's
They
move
they
on.
did get help. But I even talked to somebody. I'm like, man, I've never seen a run like this to go to state all this. And this person was like, I mean, kind of had an easy road.
Oh, yeah.
They had to play. See, here's what's not fair. It was us versus Edina every year. Burnsville
It was.
versus Edina. But we
sections.
played in Mariucci, which is always going to favor the skilled, faster team.
It's true.
I mean, it was not fair, and every single year we had to do it.
But
Of
it was
course,
always kind of close too. I think there was only like a couple of those section final years where it was
wasn't
actually
close.
a
Was
little.
Yeah.
it was it just a faster sheet?
There
or
was a
it-
few
was
time-
it the Olympic
It's-
size?
It was
the
the Olympic
Olympic
size
size.
at Mariucci,
Yeah.
and it was always super fun. I remember they would always have like the game. We would always be the game after too, or
Yeah.
the late game.
The
It would always be
late
like in
game.
Minnetonka or Eden Prairie the game before Benilde, and then
It's a great night.
Have
That was
the-
always a fun night.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure it was.
Well, no,
Yeah,
not
well,
even.
for
But like
yeah.
even when you
Oh,
had no,
fuck you.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no
joking.
horse
No,
in
I
the
know, I
race.
know, I
It was
know.
always fun because
I
it was
know.
like the bigger schools. Like
Yeah.
big
I know.
night. You knew it was on the line.
At Mariucci.
they televised them for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even state, and they
Online.
filled
Yeah.
up Mariucci. It was
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
I don't even think they have them there anymore, do they? Section finals.
I don't
In
think
the
so.
last few years, it was they would literally almost fill those up for just section finals. It was unbelievable.
So remember the first year they changed up the section. We had to play St. Thomas to go to state, and we go to state easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went after like the year or two after like our
We
class
graduate.
graduated.
Yeah.
And they get to state when that probably was not even close to the best team we had in the last 10 years prior to that.
No, my team had Brock Besser, right?
We're off the dock now.
No, you brought up high school sports,
I know.
bro. No,
Close the yearbook, guys. What the fuck?
Jake,
You're
he's from
ruining,
Edina.
you're ruining the fucking show.
He's from Edina, so naturally it comes up.
Yeah.
All right, well let's shift the topic. We'll go back to
You
tennis.
got someone else go back to the sheet.
Oh no. Well, this is on the sheet technically. Actually,
Okay.
can tennis be? I'm trying to think.
Spit
where
it
I'm going
out.
with this. Maybe I have to look. I'm gonna look at the sheet really quick.
Okay.
I'm screwing up here.
Well, I'll just wait.
Nice execution.
Is
there.
tennis?
Missing my kid's
What?
bedtime.
Oh,
but
I'm
that's fine.
sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Does
You just take your time.
talking about tennis? Should Edina be more known as a tennis city than hockey city?
Oh.
I mean, you did win a couple state championships there. They obviously had something going for them in tennis.
Was it Marty Fish born in Edina?
Marty Fish
Yeah,
was
he's from
born.
Edina. Yeah, that's
You've
where I'm
had
going
him
with
on,
that.
haven't you?
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Fantastic
He's
dude.
the best.
My favorite
awesome
favorite
dude.
professional golfer.
I was gonna say, low key, is Edina a tennis city?
I mean, yes. On the girls' side,
Oh,
even more so.
okay.
Like they won like 16 straight championships.
Straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid. They won a bunch and then they lost a couple years, and then when I was like 8th or 9th grade, they started another streak and just like carried it through.
That's
Till like
crazy.
a couple years ago. It might have
Wow.
even been like 20 or 21.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, there's like 7 country clubs within 5 square miles. So like everybody's playing tennis, and then they freeze the rinks because they need more, or they freeze the courts for skating too.
Yeah.
So
I think-
because you got to get the skating in. So
I think we literally
it's probably
saw-
those two.
Okay. I think we literally saw the courts frozen over at Edina Country
Yeah,
Club
yeah.
outside.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you got
That's
to
nuts.
be a member to skate,
Oh.
right?
Oh yeah,
Fucking A.
yeah. You can't just roll.
We haven't in Edina CC.
Do you know anybody who's
keep driving.
You
You
know
know,
what?
Arden Park's right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Arden Park is our
Hey,
country
but
club.
Jake and I play goalie. We might be able to actually show up there because everyone always needs goalies, and there's no
They love
way.
goalies.
There's no way in hell anyone is weird enough at the country club to be a goalie, right?
There might be.
Okay.
But I still give it a shot.
Sure, it's
Yeah.
worth it. Just show up, and they'll be like, "Sir, you got to remember, be like, it's okay, I'm a goalie."
You
And
just
they're
pull
like,
up with your pad.
oh my god, and they
Here's my
start
card.
bowing down to you.
Yeah, you could probably get away with that.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for anything, no fees. I mean, just like a normal pickup hockey, we don't have to pay anything. We
You're
show up
the-
to a country club, we don't have to pay anything. We
Yeah.
get all the amenities.
So they'd be like, "Can I play golf
okay,
here in
I'm
the
a
summer
goalie.
too?" And they're like, "Whoa,
No, I'm a
buddy,
goalie.
It's winter time. Let's talk about summer."
No,
in
I'm a
6
goalie.
months.
Oh yeah, you can golf all you want. Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't know you were a goalie.
Yeah.
Beer league goalie.
Yeah, their entrance is over here.
Yeah. You have a special interest.
Free
You
pass.
need a valet.
You
There
you go through the back door
Yeah.
because we don't want anyone to
That'd
see
be
you.
great if they had a clause on the site. Any goalies get free admittance into the country club. All the amenities that we want.
That sounds like a good one. Well, do you guys have any other questions? I know Guardsy has children and we don't, so
No,
not that we know
yet.
of.
Not yet.
not yet. Not that I
we
know of.
You know,
There might be one running around
who
somewhere.
knows? We'll see.
South America.
How many
but-
on the dock did we get to? We got time for like 2 more on the dock.
On the dock?
On the
Yeah. Why
dock.
don't you
I
guys
think.
pick your-
I got one,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, go for it.
You recently started, last year, was that your first year as play-by-play for Gophers women basketball? or have
my
you been doing it for your
second.
second year?
Yep.
How have you been enjoying that? Do you like that a lot?
Yes,
Yeah?
it's awesome.
Is that okay?
It's phenomenal. I love it.
You were in Hawaii last year, right?
We were in the Bahamas.
Oh,
Bahamas,
wow.
that's it, okay.
That'd
You're
be
like
incredible.
really close.
This
to having
close
it all
enough,
narrowed.
yes.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, we were in the Bahamas. That was we had because they had like all these things because of COVID that they had to schedule. November was like crazy. We were in Arizona State. We were at the Bahamas. Then like I went from Arizona State Friday night women's basketball game to Iowa City Saturday for football.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
It was crazy. Because my parents picked me up at the airport at 3 a.m. and drove me.
Your parents.
Wow,
They're
good
like
parents.
Yeah, they're like my mom's like, we'll drive you, no problem.
You got to trick somebody into driving to the airport.
Yeah, my wife's like, they're gonna pick you up at 3 a.m. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they wanted to go to the game. They
Yeah.
have family down in Iowa. They're Iowa people too, so I'm like, yeah, we'll drive you down, no problem. So, yeah, it was magical. So I
Yeah.
was in Tempe, and then like 8 a.m., 8:30 or 9, I was on TV at Kinnick Stadium.
Was that hard to like prep for, like with that little amount of time, or
I didn't prep.
you didn't prep? You just showed up. There
No,
you
I
go.
mean,
wings it.
sideline is pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my stuff, and mostly my job is just to react to stuff during the game.
Okay.
Play-by-play is obviously a lot more, but
Yeah.
but it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see the basketball arena. It's fun to be, courtside for a lot of that stuff. Like UConn's coming to Williams this year.
Yep.
Oh,
So that'll be cool. Paige Beckers will be there. So yeah, it's fun.
Do you have a dream of being like a main play-by-play guy for a certain team or anything? Or
Going
no?
after Grimmer's job at the men's team.
I'm essentially waiting for Grimm to screw
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Waiting for him to pull his Tom Brenneman moment.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
But, but I don't know. You listen to Grimm and he's just don't. I don't know if you can.
Like the first time
It's
I
too
listened
clean.
to him was it was that Maryland game where the Gophers missed the extra point and
yep.
in overtime to lose. And I just remember it was my first time listening to him. He's like, and the kick is up, and the Gophers missed it. They have lost the game, and it was like so. It was just I had no clue they even lost by his like tone. It was
If that
crazy.
didn't get him,
He's seen a lot. He's
if
been.
that, if that didn't get him, then
He's seen a lot.
He's been through
But
a
he's
lot.
been the announcer of he's been the announcer of men's basketball and football since 2008, 2007.
Yeah, he started 06, 07 with hoops.
Yeah, and
then,
he took over Dave Lee.
Yep, and then in 2011, my first year on the sideline was his first year as
Okay.
football. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot affects him at this point.
No, he's desensitized. He's seen it all.
he's totally numb.
Yeah.
He's just looking to feel something.
But then, but then Lemecki Brockington houses one from 50, and it's like the greatest call ever.
Yeah.
Like, I love his calls when something, like, I'll even tell him because I have headsets on, so I'll be listening. Like the Chris Ottman-Bell catch against Penn State. Remember that touchdown where
Yeah.
he caught it over the middle? And
In
like
19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was standing there, and the place is just insane. I mean,
Rockin'.
the Bateman one everybody remembers, but like that was early in the Winfield pick or whatever. But like that one's like an easy one because it's like Bateman's open. Can he catch it? You've got this whole run up to go. Like most play-by-play guys are going to nail that one if they're good. I'm not taking it away from Grimm, but I kind of am. But the Ottman-Bell one was like shorter, like a lot happening, like had to describe a million things in like 4 seconds, and he just crushed it.
Yeah.
And I just sat there. I'm like, we go to break. I'm like, Mike, you nailed that.
Killed that.
Like,
Killed
that one was so epic. I'm sitting here like I wish I could hear it again right this second because I see it as it's happening, and he's just like everything is just like it's incredible. He's so good. So yeah, but he'll probably get fired. So
Yeah, you have to take it over.
You'll be ready.
Well, speaking of that, I know you like this bit, but we need like a good Gopher football Titanic moment. We haven't had a good one in that particular area, and I don't think ever. I don't know if we've ever made one. There hasn't really been a. I mean, we didn't do it at the time, but I bet the Winfield interception
That would've been a good
that would have
one.
earned one.
I mean, the Jordan Howden to finish off Penn State would have been a good one. I think because the ball would have been traveling right when he catches it. I'm trying to think, but you're right.
Well, I was going to say
It's a high bar.
that sticks in my memory, but to this day, I know it was Tim Brewster, and their team went 6-6. But the first ever game at ECF Bank Stadium, Huntington,
It was a
the
fumble
fumble,
recovery,
Nate Triplett
right?
or somebody
Yeah.
picked it up, and that was the game winner. Clock didn't hit zeros, but that won the game. And like that was just, and it was the first game ever at TCF, just sold out to the brim. That was the loudest I've ever heard. That was one of the loudest games I ever heard that stadium get, other than the 2019 Penn State game. So that was unreal too.
Maybe go back and find it.
I did.
Maybe do like a little Titanic from the archives.
I know where I could find the video because I did a stupid ass video of why I went to the University of Minnesota, like a digital story thing for
That
one of my
might have been the
classes.
only serious thing you ever put out with us, and you were
Yeah.
like, "It's more than just a game."
Oh, that was the Wisconsin game.
Oh, and there's like video of like people in the 20s playing fucking football with leather heads
Well,
on.
that was when the Gophers won national championships. Now, did they? So
That was when we were title town.
I know that's for title
Same
town.
time as Vietnam.
Exactly.
And that's why you went to the U.
Yep.
Because
yep.
of Nate Triplett.
Nate Triplett. That's why I literally stayed on this. It was a narration video. We had to do it for a class at the U first semester, and I just did it around. I think we all just state why we came to the U or some weird crap like that. And I said right then and there, as an 8th grader, I wanted to go to the University of Minnesota, and I went there and somehow graduated. In 4
Wasn't
years.
because of Kyle Rao or
Not Kyle Rao, unfortunately. No.
One of our,
I gotta say, Kyle Rao it was Nate Triplett and Tubby Smith.
Yeah.
To an extent. No, he got fired before I.
Tubby time though. That was a fun
No.
bit.
Tim
Kinda
Brewster
missed
got
that.
me hyped up, but I was gonna say
Your chili was hot.
the chili was hot for
Yeah.
the U.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, really quick, to make your call epic, to maybe even just get you the spot right away, is just to add a want a pie for it in any of your broadcasts.
It's so good.
That was just the best.
Yeah. It's the best was when somebody made him a pie.
Yeah.
We went to Oregon State a few weeks after that, and there was a pie waiting in the press box that said "Win a pie for it."
That's great.
I just love the organic nature of this. Like Hawk's like, why did he say "win a pie for it"? What is "win a pie"?
Like if he gets the touchdown, he
What a
win-
pie for
And
it.
Hawk
wins
is
the
dead
pie.
serious. And then you got students with the "win a pie for it" sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's when stuff is the best, when it just comes out of nowhere like that.
Dude, at the
Completely
beginning,
unintentional.
beginning days of 10K, we just scream, "You want to buy for it?" We
Want a
just
pie
scream
for it.
Yes.
just for no reason, no
but
context.
was that Tyler Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, like, later on in that season, because was that 19? No, it was 18. It was PJ's second year or first year. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a grim thing. Getting details of stories that don't matter and just halting the story.
Yeah.
That's, I just golfed with Mike yesterday. So I was like, Mike, not important. Just keep
Yeah,
the
yeah,
train
yeah,
going.
let's keep
Yeah,
going.
was it 17 or 18? Not important to any of this.
Yeah, was it 17? Let me think back here.
But like the next year, whenever it was, like it was a great catch by Tyler Johnson, and then Mike was like, and yes, in fact, he did go up high for it. Or like, he did win a pie for it.
It's
There
like
you go.
apply
it's like
for
the
it.
end of like a 30 for 30 skit,
Yeah.
where it's like that tagline.
Yes, it's the walk-off tagline.
Yeah.
Quick final question I have follow up with Tim Brewster. Are you blocked on Twitter by Tim Brewster?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
You have to be. You have to be part of the club.
It's
Yeah.
a badge of
ever,
honor.
Did you ever buy that State Fair T-shirt?
No, did you guys make one?
Yeah,
Genius.
We made one. It's blocked by Brew.
Yep.
It was
Nice.
a T-shirt. It sold a lot because everybody's blocked by him. It's just
Yeah.
insane.
It's crazy how quick he is. He's just trigger happy to block somebody.
Well, I feel
that
like
just talks
he's.
against
I'm
him.
gonna just make sure. Maybe he.
Maybe he like had a change of heart.
Yeah,
after
maybe
he-
he
let's
did.
just
after
all.
he-
Let's
Should
just
we all check?
see
I
if
know
we were-
Mike Hawk's blocked.
Tim
Michael Hawk.
Brewster. I think I tweeted at him and asked him to block me, and he saw I was from Minnesota, and he just did it.
I think he like geotagged blocks.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
he
even know.
found out some new technology to like mega block.
I don't even know if you can do that, but he found it out. Our guy Brew. Oh man,
I can't even search him right
I
now.
know
Yeah.
he doesn't even let me.
Maybe he's
Here he is.
maybe he's off the grid.
Yeah, here it is. Colorado football.
Oh yeah.
What's
So
his
it's-
handle?
At Tim
Oh,
Brewster.
yep, still blocked.
Yep.
Okay,
Still blocked.
at Tim Brewster.
Oh yeah, he's under
Oh,
the.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there he
I
is.
got
Yeah.
it too.
It's incredible, and a lot of people, whenever this would come
Colorado
up,
football.
people would go like, "I don't think I've ever tweeted about him ever." When
Yeah.
he was just blocked. He
Yeah.
just,
Jake,
He just gets there.
When someone said they're from Minnesota and their location blocked.
It's
What
almost
did-
like he went to people that he knew who followed them and just blocked everybody that followed them. Just now I do mute Mondays.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is the 10K account as well. I think I think
10K account he
yeah.
blocked?
Well, it's because that viral clip came out of him like screaming at the players on day one. What was he at Colorado?
Colorado, yeah.
What was he doing
was like,
again?
Stand up.
Stand up.
Now sit down.
Sit down.
Get your ass down.
Yeah, he was like trying to be a drill sergeant. Like, what is he still doing?
Yeah.
He's still doing these shenanigans. Like,
I think we posted that video and said, "What an absolute asshole." We didn't even tag him in it, and he found it somehow because it had a lot of traction, and he blocked us. So
The thing we did with Brew, there was a time because we didn't have a good relationship with the U at the time, and so we wanted to have some of their coaches on to do something, and we kept getting the runaround. We were talking about Bill Guerin never says no to anything. It's like, hey, we want to have onside kicking coach Mike Hawk on, just to talk about the game or talk. And we kept getting no's and no's and no's, and we're like, this is so weird. And then someone in the department finally came clean with this. This is like 2009. It's like, well, Coach Brewster has said that we're not allowed to have anybody come on the fan.
what?
Because, I could see it in a way, like it's not their favorite thing to do because I'm sure we were really hard on them.
yeah, for good reason though at
yeah.
the time.
And so I get it in a way, but what was dumb about that is we told the audience that. We just said, hey, look, because they'd be like, you guys never talk to the Gophers, and we never do this. I'm like, so I can't remember because I was working, I think, with PA or maybe with Barrero at the time, but I remember it became like a news story, like straight up, like they were interviewing Chad Abbott on like CCO TV. Like it just completely backfired, and it was just like. And the other thing, we were petty about it. I must have been working with PA because I'm like, all right, well, we can't have anybody from the Gophers on. Should we see what Brett Bielema at Wisconsin's doing?
Yeah. He might be more willing to
Should
talk.
we see what Kirk Ferentz is doing?
Yeah.
Like, we probably didn't handle it as maturely as we should have. So then, like, next week, Brett Bielema's on. Kirk, and those guys, of course, are like, hell yeah, well, come on. We recruit Minnesota, so it was a whole thing. So long story longer, it's a miracle we ever got the rights to the games after that. But, like, a lot of people obviously were gone by that point, but it was just, like, a messy deal where it's like – but that was just, like, a completely unnecessary thing for probably all of us. But it's one of my favorites, like young Chad Abbott's getting interviewed. Like, when we extended an offer a lot of times for coaches, and we were told that people are banned from coming on KFAN. So it just became like this mini scandal.
That's great.
It's a little petty back and forth.
Yeah.
So Brewster, did he ever come on the show at all?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I remember he came in studio right when he got hired when I was working with PA in Dubé.
When he was promising Rose Bowls?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't know if he ever came on with Burrow. I can't really remember. Not a ton. He was only here for like 2+ years.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
It wasn't very long.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very, very long. But yeah, that was. I forgot about that we were banned. Or
might-
they were
That's
banned.
crazy.
He must have thought you guys were only hungry, not starving.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our chili was lukewarm.
At best.
What-
yeah.
Not hot enough.
Do you think like it was because you did bring up like his slogans a lot and he was just probably pissed about that? I could
Could've
see him
been.
being very upset
Yeah,
about
or
that.
just negative
Yeah.
in general. Like
because they weren't playing that great
No.
anyway.
And
so
the thing I will say
warranted.
that is different about Minneapolis than any other college town that I certainly have an appreciation for now that I actually like work adjacent to the Gophers is like they face negativity way more than other college towns
Yeah.
do.
For sure.
Because it's it's guys that have covered pro sports. The fans are all fans of pro sports, so like they get it's a little bit it's much different. Like coaches will get here and they're like, man, there's a lot of negativity around here. Everybody's cynical. Like they'll just like parachute in. And it's like, and these guys have no idea like what fans have been through. I'm like, yeah, it's mostly just a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah.
And yes, we are a jaded people. Like we are messed up in the head from a lot of things. Like no offense. Like I've even said that to PJ. I'm like, I get it. You want us to look forward, and you're doing a great job of giving us new memories to talk about. But there's a lot of stuff that's happened here, like that they're gonna, like they can't just snap their fingers and forget. And he's like, yeah, I get it. And Patino, we'd always joke about that too. He's like, man, you guys are just waiting for it to go back.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. Yeah, most of the time we are, but give us a few moments.
We're just trying to be journalists, ask the real questions.
Well, we weren't born that way. We were made that way through
Yeah.
all these years of horribleness. So.
You're just
So
now,
it's
Minnesota.
a different town. So it's unfair in a way. Like we were probably unfair. I still think some things are unfair about
Yeah.
how Minnesota university teams get covered.
Yep.
That's my perspective now. The stuff that they deal with that in Iowa and Wisconsin. Like quick example, and then I know we got to go. Like when Patino got dinged for taking the private plane more than he should have, or the gas tank thing. like the stupidest non-story I've ever heard. That's like front page, like university audit. Richard Pitino returned rental cars unfilled.
Yeah, insane.
Program run amok, and then like used his private plane more than he was supposed to. I'm like, well, I don't think he just like walked into Wheels Up and grabbed the keys and threw them to a pilot.
Yeah.
Like I assume that was approved by somebody.
Yeah.
It's just so like stuff like that. Like Kirk Ferentz isn't dealing with that stuff.
No.
You know, like Paul
No,
Chris,
they love
now Luke Fickle, like college town, like. But you've got major newspapers, so that stuff is the stuff that really bothers me that I think is unfair. Like wins and losses, like everybody's going to get criticized in social media.
Yeah.
I mean, college towns, everybody gets criticized now, but like the intensity of that stuff is just stupid.
Well, I was going to, just really quick, I was going to say, I thought Richard Pitino, beyond that, in my lifetime, was one of the coaches that got the most negative crap, more than a lot of coaches, than what he actually deserved. Honestly, that's what I thought.
Boys, thoughts?
Not big basketball guys.
No.
Big go. I mean, near the end, yeah.
All I know is a lot of people were pretty happy when he was finally out of there.
And that's maybe starting to look like it was a bad idea after 1 year, we'll say.
We could
2
talk.
years.
We could do a whole other podcast on Gopher basketball.
Yeah.
I know
Yes.
we could.
Well, and just
I
the
could, yeah.
the mythology of the success that the program has never had.
Right.
Like everybody, and you guys are a little younger than me, but everybody's like I think they need to build a new basketball arena.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But people will say Williams Arena is the best when it's
Jake's
rocking.
one of
Jake
those
would
guys.
say that.
I know.
Yes.
I've recently, in like the last year, I've kind of opened up to the idea of building a new arena. It's getting to the point where it's like, wait a minute. Like, I love Williams Arena.
Me
but
too. It's my
like,
favorite place in the world.
The atmosphere in there when it's sold out, and like when we had the Tubby Smith teams where they weren't that great, but they were good enough to be a bubble team, would beat up or win a game against a top 5 team like Indiana.
When they beat Indiana.
And it was sold out in there. It's I think one of the best atmospheres that you'll ever be in.
Yes.
But it's getting to the point for recruiting, and it's now going to be 100 years old. It's like you got to start thinking about it.
I agree totally.
I
And
think, yeah.
the people, the comeback that I always get with that is like, oh, yeah, build a new arena and that'll change everything. I'm like, no, it's not what I'm saying.
It might help.
But it's not going to hurt. And if you look at the history of the Big Ten, like all the schools that have built arenas and they have gotten better.
Yeah.
They have,
Like
yeah.
Wisconsin didn't start getting good until they built Kohl Center
Mm-hmm.
and found the right coach. Those things are hand in hand. But we have this perception because the Clem run had a Final Four that was vacated and like a Sweet 16 and an Elite 8. But what people miss in that is like there was like 4 or 5 NITs. Like there were years they didn't make the tournament. Like they've never had I think they've had like 11 tournaments in their history that haven't been vacated.
Yeah.
Like something.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
like
insane.
It's like 15 total. And if you want to look at the top of the Big Ten, like Indiana's got like 50.
Yeah.
So it's just like this weird entitlement that the basketball community has about like what they should be. And I fell into that too. Like in hindsight, they probably shouldn't have fired Tubby Smith because he had gone to 3 tournaments in
They
6
just
years.
won a tournament game.
Yeah. And so that's kind of, so anyway, that could be a whole nother
I know.
podcast.
We don't have.
Well,
to go into that,
the
but-
last thing I'll say about that is, as a starting point, they should just be lockstep with Mariucci and just shrink the court.
Oh, they could do that.
I feel
maybe
like
it'll help
they
them?
could find a way to maybe use that as an advantage.
or a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's
Depends on
something
how
to
good
think
they are
about for the
shooting
next
threes.
episode. Maybe think about that for the gummy episode next
Oh,
week.
shit.
If you come up with any good, that's
We'll
a
have
tease.
great ideas
That's
there.
a tease, young people.
Yes.
I don't want to throw too much at him though. He might call the cops.
That's what Craig
Yeah, you're
Kilborn
right.
always does on the show. You guys are probably too young to know who
Either
Craig
or.
Kilborn is, but he'll always go, "That's a tease, young people."
Yeah. It's a
Colgate
teaser.
Comedy Hour.
It's the best.
Colgate.
It's the best.
Jeez.
All right, we'll do the rapid fire. So
Really
Oh,
quick.
okay.
different set of questions from last time, and you've been looking over at the sheet. So I'm
Not
gonna,
really.
I'm gonna hide. Okay, I'm gonna hide it from you.
We haven't even
Anyways.
gotten to the sheet.
No, okay. Well, there's been some questions from the sheet. There's Edina, Gophers, KFAN. We're pretty close, but all right. First question on here: if you're on a deserted island for the rest of your life, you only have one movie of choice to watch. What is it?
Goodwill Hunting.
Great movie. I haven't seen that one in a while, but yeah, great one.
Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your
It's not your
fault.
fault.
It's not your fault.
Everybody always does. How do you like them apples from that movie? That's the part before that when he just like crushes that dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you read that and now you'll regurgitate this and blah blah blah, and he just the dude with the ponytail,
Yeah,
the Michael Bolton guy.
yes.
Just shreds that dude.
I know.
God, that's a good scene. Matt Damon.
beautiful.
I mean,
This
that's
is
my guy.
This
Robin
is a random
Williams.
follow-up question. Are you a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I don't watch it as much as I should have or did, but I liked it.
There's an episode where they're going to a college, and Charlie just says, I'll do a whole Goodwill Hunting thing on them. They're like, that was a genius who was a janitor. He's like, you're just a janitor. That's what I always think of when I hear Goodwill Hunting. But, all right, favorite athlete growing up?
I mean, it could be a million of them, but we'll play the tennis card and say Andre Agassi.
Oh,
Ooh,
That's
okay.
a great one.
That was my guy. Still is my guy.
Still is your guy,
I love
loyal.
that guy. Yeah.
Would you rather go on a ayahuasca retreat or a darkness retreat?
Until I heard about Jake's episode, I might have said ayahuasca, but
Oh.
I think it's got to be darkness.
Okay.
It won't be that bad. It's not that bad.
It's got to be darkness.
Yeah, you can't call the cops out there in
No.
the foothills of China where you do
can.
those
I just have to
things.
deal with it and see things.
What's a first world problem bugging you at the moment?
Oh, man. What has been bugging me? There's a lot of them. What have other people said? Maybe that'll jog my memory.
Well, last week it was a slam dunk with Nordo because we both agreed it was Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
But
People said traffic, 494.
oh yeah, 494 is a common one. That's a first world problem. God, running into people at your hometown.
That's, yeah, kind of. Yeah, man, I should have more of this. And I always say this to my kids because they are always complaining about things. I'm like, are we serious?
Yeah.
I think like a favorite brand of a food being sold out at the grocery store, even though you can grab the other
Or
one.
the fact that eggs were like $1 more expensive
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah,
And
that was big.
right,
Man,
right.
I
That was
wish-
a big one.
I wish I had one for you. Like Barrero misplaced his ham the last couple of days. He got some boar's head sliced ham,
What?
and then he just
Lost it?
Did he go on a rant about that on the show?
Kind of, yeah. He
Nice.
brings it because
I love that.
He does a lot of grocery shopping on the way to work, and then
Yeah.
he's got a little refrigerator, and then we have one at the break room, and he's like, "I lost my ham."
Ham's a hot
He's
commodity.
like
though, so
perfectly sliced. He's like, it was perfectly sliced. She tested it out, and now I don't know where it is.
I would
Jeez.
honestly open an investigation
Yeah.
with the studio about that because ham is that's good shit.
I forgot to ask him if he recovered his ham today because it was yesterday when that happened. I'm gonna probably text you later with the first world problem.
Okay.
Can you add it in?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one that I'm not thinking of, but that's a good question.
We'll put it in Google AI voice, and
Yeah.
it'll be like, "My AirPods keep dying," and
No,
it's like,
we'll
"Oh, thanks for that answer, Justin."
No, yeah, we'll plug Justin's voice into an AI machine.
Right.
And then
The first world problem that bothered me, and I don't know if this qualifies, is there was a hockey mom at 6-year-old 3-on-3 hockey yesterday complaining that the scoreboard was wrong.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
That is a
Definitely,
great
yes.
one. There are people starving in other countries, and someone's bitching about a 3-on-3
6-year-old.
6-year-old.
That's a good one.
Like literally, and first of all, not that it matters, the scoreboard was right.
Yeah.
If you just like,
for the record.
and so, and I tweeted out, if I wasn't on such a Taylor Swift high from the night before, I probably would have ended up on the news.
Okay.
For being like, what is wrong with you?
Or in a viral video.
She's like, the scoreboard's wrong. The scoreboard is wrong. The scoreboard's wrong. They gave the goal to the wrong team. Scoreboard's wrong. I'm like,
That's right.
it was an Edina mom too.
Yeah, well, hockey.
Which actually made me mad as an Edina. Even though my kid is a Minnetonkan, I was mad as an Edina. Like,
Yeah.
you're representing our people incorrectly here.
Well,
This
the
is
hockey
not
moms
good.
are already the
Enforcing the
worst. I
stereotype.
couldn't imagine Edina, Minnetonka hockey moms. That's next level.
A year ago, or maybe it was 2 years ago, there was like the police were called to Braemar Arena. If you guys remember that, like that, Minneapolis Crime Watch page
Yep.
that listens to the scanners. They tweeted like officers sent to Braemar Arena for alleged assault or
Altercation.
something.
Scoreboard was wrong.
And people,
Scoreboard must have been wrong.
people ran with that one. They're like the hockey moms
yeah.
have taken it to a physical standpoint.
Well, anytime we do Edina stories on Bumper to Bumper, we haven't done one for a while, but anytime you know that the Star Tribune readership is low, they'll find a story about an Edina thing. That could happen in any community anywhere, but they'll put Edina in the headline.
It's like
up.
it's like
Love it.
Most read Florida man.
It's like Florida Man.
That's
yeah.
exactly
It's
what
tabloid.
it is. Like one of them was like Edina neighborhood skeptical of sidewalks. And I'm like, that's literally what we're doing here in Minnetonka.
Yeah.
And people are mad about it.
Yeah.
But
Slow news
everyone
day.
is.
That's a first world problem.
Yeah.
Great question. I like that. That's a good one.
Arden Park not plowed within 12 hours
Yeah.
of snowfall.
Mike's
No one can
left
skate.
with no practice.
Yeah.
Plymouth residents upset. Oh God, that's literally us.
Surrounding residents are upset.
If you could wear one color the rest of your life, what would it be?
Green.
Ooh.
Not because of Edina, but because it matches my eyes and I look good.
Okay.
You got a
Sounds
good
good.
reason
You're being
for
honest.
it.
You're
And
wearing,
I'm-
Nor the Packers.
And I'm humble about it.
Of course.
Very humble.
you're wearing
obviously.
all black right now, so I was kind of throwing for a curveball.
That's
by
because
green.
black is slimming
right.
for these 4K cameras in
Oh,
here.
yeah.
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 It's high quality
Yeah,
shit.
you look great on the screen.
We're not
do.
using the webcam anymore. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely not.
If your laptop could speak, what would it say?
Clean me.
That's a
That's
good
a great
one.
That is
yeah.
I don't think we've ever gotten that one, but my screen is always just full of like
keyboard.
sneezing or spitting when I talk.
And I don't know from what. Like I
Yeah.
don't really eat around it. Like I'm using it at work, and I guess I watch. At home I use it a little bit, but it's like it's like your guest bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right.
middle
That I
bathroom.
use.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're not puking on your laptop.
Not usually.
It could be on
Unless
mine.
it's a late kick for a road game
Okay.
for football.
Sure.
Then I might be.
Yeah.
Then we'll
makes
get after
sense.
it a little bit the
Yeah.
night before.
What's the worst fast food place?
The worst fast food place. It's not the worst because it's okay. I've never gotten the White Castle hype.
Yeah, that's
a
White
popular-
Castle is a popular answer.
I always got the chicken sandwiches. I didn't trust, and there's one on Highway 7 that was which first of all, I can't believe. Well, I guess this would be bad for White Castle business. They probably have a deal, but I can't believe there's not a police officer just sitting there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. I mean,
Yeah.
because nothing legal is going on.
No,
And
No one's just
I'm
purchasing
also
sliders.
I'm curious what their like base demographic is because I remember growing up, my grandparents lived in Fridley, and anytime we visited them, my grandpa always took us to White Castle.
It's a big day.
Yeah.
Grandkids there.
Yeah, so
I never trusted the burger. Something about it, I just didn't trust it. And it just didn't feel like that you should, especially at like 2 a.m, like you shouldn't be
it's
eating.
screaming food poisoning.
Yeah, I'm sure the chicken sliders were perfect. Because that's
Not
what I
much,
would always
yeah.
get. I'm like, I'm going to get
Hey.
the chicken, guys. You have your own crave case.
that's a business that's pumped about marijuana being legal, though. I'll
Yes.
tell you that.
Exactly.
They're like,
gonna
we
thrive
should,
on it.
they're like hitting up all the new companies, being like, we should team up on something.
I mean,
right?
I've only seen them like closing down more than building up. Now you're
Yeah.
gonna see them expanding like Chick-fil-A's now that the marijuana has become legal in Minnesota.
Yeah,
So
it's only a matter of time.
might have more.
And
Yeah,
at-
I don't think it's bad. I've just never
Yeah.
gotten
Yeah.
the hype about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a popular one.
if you had a boat, what would you name it?
What would I name it? I'd probably have to name it after my kids, at least one of them. Oh, what would I name it?
Now, I'm not going to give you your answer, but there could be a Gopher reference here, too, that I just thought of with the paddle. I don't know if there's something there.
Well, what's the answer? Let's see. Maybe this will jog. Like
Uh,
I gave you the pickleball idea.
row this boat.
Row this boat.
Yeah, instead of row the boat, it's like this is the boat that you got to row.
Actually, you know what I would call it? This is actually what I probably might call it. My wife wouldn't let me, but if I was single and I just had a boat, I would name it Blocked by Brew.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh
that's
yes,
great.
yes.
It's a callback, young people.
Yep. SS Rock blocked by Brew.
I was thinking,
And,
just-
you're not allowed on the boat unless you can prove at the door that you have.
Or-
That's right.
or you could call it the bear,
token.
and people will think, "Oh, that's got to be such a positive thing." No, and you would tell them like, "Oh, if you're going hunting, you got to be prepared to get the bear."
right.
Name
Like
it
what?
pellet
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah,
Name
with
it
a
pellet gun.
Yeah, pellet gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blocked by Brew probably.
Blocked by Brew.
If the last one is give us your strike 3 call if you're in an ump.
Straight up.
I always like it when they don't say out. You know what I mean? Where they just we're just like yeah,
Yeah.
Where they
Just
do
make a
that.
sound.
Yeah. Yes.
And just go hit.
Yep.
Something that's not in English.
Nothing. Yeah.
Where did that originate from? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just baseball.
And my Uncle John, he was a baseball coach, athletic director. So I always remember when we'd like play at the cabin or like play at his house in Rock Rapids, Iowa. He always did it that way, like as a bit. He would have been a good guest. He was always like, "Steer!" Like,
Stir
Half of a
the
word,
pot.
maybe.
yeah,
That's
just
about
like
it.
it's like the vendors that I was like, "Be hit."
Yeah.
You know that guy? It's like I always like it when it's an abbreviated nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, "Ba-da!"
Not even a real language. You just scream.
Funny story really quick about like beer vendor guys. Like, you know how there's a ton of them around the X. We went to so many Wild games over the years that after the Blink-182 concert, I was sitting by a window in Tom Reed's, and he walked by, and we looked at each other, and we both waved because we
Made eye
both
contact.
recognized each
Yes.
other. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
is this a bad thing, or does
No.
this just mean I'm like getting to meet more people?
We'll see you opening night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you in a couple months, Jack. Oh, God damn it, he knows my name.
We're socializing. We're building community here.
There
we
Yeah,
go.
it's about
Yeah.
connecting
We know
the
people.
economy.
Yeah.
Connecting people.
Especially the beer vendors.
Yep. Well, Guardsy, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I'm
the
glad
gift.
it worked out.
Now
I
we
know.
know the story behind it as
It's
well.
on loan.
Yeah.
It's on loan, right? It's
Yeah.
not a gift. It's
Pond.
we're borrowing. It's a pond.
Maybe you can do tours. Let
Yeah,
people come through and
exactly.
see it. We'll say limited time only to get some urgent.
$5
Charge
to
people.
get into the door.
Build some revenue. Get some revenue for
We'll
it. Yes.
we'll return it with a case. That'll be what we pay you back for the pond. Maybe we'll
Just don't
find
touch it for the gummy episode.
No.
Won't be touched.
Or
I
don't-
might be scared of it.
I might try to. I
don't know why,
I
but-
might try to eat it. That looks like a big block of cheddar
know.
cheese.
Yeah.
Wisconsinite right there.
Yeah, because I do need it. I'll need it. I think I'll get it back before the season so I can have PJ sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, just let us
He'll
know.
think it's stupid. He won't want to do it. He's not really a look back kind of guy,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
You'll be like, I'm keeping it at these guys' house.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
in
"What?
Plymouth. I'll
What?
give you the address.
Why? Why is it not at your
Look for
house?
a guy midnight wandering around the driveway.
Yeah. You'll see him there. You'll
He's
just know the
actually,
house.
yeah, you recognize him. He's on your staff.
He's your onside
He's
kicking
your
coach.
onside. That's
Coach-
my onside kicking
Coach
coach.
Hawk.
Yes. You don't let him on the field.
Yeah.
You need
This
to let
year.
him on the field.
This
This
year.
year is the year. He's gonna be running out of the tunnel.
Yep.
Maybe Michigan. They
Yeah.
play Michigan at
Yeah,
home
We'll
this
see.
year, I think.
Yeah, they
Maybe
do
you'll
finally.
get to destroy the paddle.
Yes, I will be the one. That
One of
makes
these
a lot
days.
more sense if I do it.
Dude, the
Or he
boys would
does.
go crazy if you did that in the locker room.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Are you
take your
Onside
shoes.
kick-
Are you
especially
physically-
if we did it like completed an onside kick that day.
Yeah.
Not only did one, but we actually
Succeeded
executed it
and won like the pig.
What's so funny is when that happens, I won't be thinking about anything else but you.
We've all thought about that, and like if they actually do execute an onside kick and they win the game or something, it's gonna
Biggest day in
be
company
insane.
history.
Well, do you remember the fake Don Lucia on Twitter?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember the day that the real Don Lucia joined?
No, I don't know. No.
It was like
but
late,
I'm sure
late in
yeah.
his tenure, and he basically his first tweet was, "Thanks, fake Don Lucia. I've got it from here," which is
Genius.
brilliant.
Oh
and
man.
Don's a great dude.
Yeah.
And the fake Don Lucia, like, he's like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what just happened?"
Yeah.
Like his mind just exploded. He's like, "What happened here?"
we would explode.
It's the greatest. That's
Or-
what I'm envisioning.
Yeah, we need a few more years for there not to be one to keep building the
I
brand,
know,
so
just
that
keep
when
building it up.
when
It's
it
for the bit,
happens,
man.
it's like we're gonna riot.
Nothing is better than the bit. That's why we like losing Emmys on the TV show. If
I
we
know.
ever won a Midwest Emmy, it'd be no fun.
exactly.
Wolves at the bottom are hungrier, and the ones
Come
at the
on.
top.
Yeah, we've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
We
Just
can't
like
win
Vikings
one.
losing Super Bowls. So
It's a streak.
It's
We
our
need to keep
brand.
it going.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's on brand. But and we'll also meet Kirk one of these days in person, and then people's minds will explode because they won't know who's which.
It'll
you
be
know?
a Spider-Man
They won't
pointing
know.
at, pointing at the
They're
other
like,
one.
wait, who?
Julie's gonna be.
What?
Jules is gonna be asking for ID.
I just-
Come on,
he's
pick
gonna-
me. I'm the real Kirk.
I'm the real one. I just need a glass of milk. I don't even like milk.
yeah.
Well, just
You know
having
me,
a
Julie.
conversation.
But you might
He's
like
so
milk.
bad.
I don't know.
Be brutal. Pizza Ranch. We love Pizza
It's,
Ranch.
it's like the baby races they have, where like the parents are waiting. Like you're gonna be down
Yeah.
there with Cooper. Like, come here, Cooper.
Yeah.
Like,
Julie,
he's gonna be.
That's my
lifting
boy,
You're like,
Cooper.
come on, Julie. I'm your husband. I'm taller than this guy. I don't know.
Well, what's his middle name?
I love Pizza Ranch.
No.
Yeah, I'm a big Coles Cash guy, so
Yeah.
that's the real Kirk right there.
Yeah.
Love
Thanks, ton Guards. We appreciate
Hey,
you coming
appreciate
in.
you guys. Yep, glad it worked.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Folks, we've been saying it for years now. 10,000 Takes and It's a Bit is proudly presented by the Better Edge app. And if you don't know what the Better Edge app is, it is a way for us to legally online social bet and bet with our friends, bet with other people on the app, which means you can post and engage with other sports betting fans. You can place no commission positions in an online marketplace. They're not taking any of your money. You can compete in public or private betting competitions. You can also compete in head-to-head challenges with people like us. Everyone in this room is on the app. You can send us a bet. If we're saying we're going to take the other side, you can hit us up head-to-head. And you can do all this by buying positions such as the spread, the over-under, and the money line at their current market prices. So make sure to use promo code 10K at betteredge.com to get a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID. Once again, that's promo code 10K when you sign up at betteredge.com to get a free $20 and start betting with us today. All right, welcome back to It's a Bit, folks. Awesome time having Guardsy in studio. Let's close out the show with a new game called What's It Called? You know, there's a lot of debates on the internet about how we should name things. Most Midwesterners are in lockstep on a lot of the same things that the rest of the world isn't. But I would say there's some internal debating within the Midwest that we can go on. So journalist Jake actually came up with these questions and even a catchphrase for the game. So I'll give it to you, Jake.
This is What's it called? I picture hearing a bunch of people like Price is
Presented
Right.
by Trojan Condoms.
Presented by Rock Guard Home and Hardware. If it's not hard, we'll make it hard.
There we go.
and
Trojan Condoms.
Well, and Rock Hard Plumbing.
We'll clean your pipes right out.
Yep.
It's based out of Toronto.
Yeah, correct.
Yep. Very Canadian. But yeah, it's called What's It Called? And we're just going to name off some things and we're going to essentially all say what we think it should be called.
We should do it like a 3, 2, 1 countdown
Yes.
so that it's
Yes.
like it's natural, you know.
Exactly.
There's no other influence.
I would assume we're all probably going to agree on most of these things.
But we'll see.
We'll
you
see.
never know.
And then we'll
Embrace the debate
Yes.
if it's not the case. But.
So you want me to call these out?
So you say 3, 2, 1, and then everyone says it at the same time.
So say the question, then
yeah.
3, 2,
All right.
yeah.
So what's it called? Bags or cornhole? In 3, 2, 1. Bags.
cornhole. I was the only one who said cornhole.
You
You said
are.
cornhole?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that a
Explain
Wisconsin-
yourself.
Is that a Wisconsin
Well,
thing?
first off, no, cornhole's funny. That's the first
Well-
one. Second one is the bags are filled with corn, and there's a hole in the boards. So that's
But you can't play without them in a bag.
you also can't play without the hole or the corn.
Sure.
Couldn't you use a different substance than corn?
So
You
if-
can use horseshoes or discs.
If you use beads, then you're a casual.
Oh.
Or sand. Don't even get me started on sand. Sand just
Sand
sits on the
hole.
board.
Those Sandies.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of a slur to call them.
Sandies.
Sandies.
No, this is one of those weird ones I think people are pretty divided on. Obviously,
Yeah.
I am in the minority
I'm
here,
not
but
super divided. I usually call it bags if I'm on a hunch, but I have called it cornhole. I know I've caught myself calling it cornhole just because.
Well, because when they I think when they do it professionally, they call it cornhole, like the World Cornhole Championships or whatever.
Right.
Right?
I definitely still called it cornhole, but I'll call it.
When I'm at
bags.
a cabin, I'm drinking with the boys. It's bags.
yeah, for sure.
see,
bags.
I
You
think
got
there,
bags?
yeah, there's just so many
got the
games.
boards?
There's so many games that use bags where I think it's a very general term. Whereas, but then again, that's kind of like baseball, right? Like the baseball is only one part of the game. There's bats, there's a field, there's bases.
Why isn't it called bat ball?
Right.
Someone's divided right now. It's bat ball, bitch.
No, this one, we got to make a clip for this one. I know people will get very pissed off about this.
Yeah.
One person in particular, Kirsten Kroll, friend of the program, she basically will assault you if you call it cornhole. So
Oh, yeah.
she's
pissed.
screaming at me somewhere. So
All right, moving on to the next one. Is it duck, duck, goose or duck, duck, gray duck? 3, 2, 1. Duck, duck, gray duck.
Yeah,
Easy.
That's Minnesota and Wisconsin cities right next to Minnesota, kind of thing.
that's
through and
one of the
through.
only ones that.
I mean, because you're New Richmond, you're from Wisconsin. Is
Yeah.
that what they said growing up? Too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was Grey Duck.
Okay.
Yeah. I think like Minnesota, Wisconsin is the only. Maybe Iowa is probably the only place in the country where we say Grey Duck.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's actually the brains behind the vodka.
Bomba juice.
Or
Yeah.
Grey Duck
Grey Duck.
vodka
Yeah,
because that's like a native Minnesota thing that only we have.
That the entire country should embrace,
Well,
or else we're going to go to war.
We're such
over
a big goose hunting area that they're all dead from the hunters. So all we have is
Or
ducks.
from my car late at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Sky carp.
Yeah.
Duck, duck, sky carp.
Oh.
That's what they call goose.
yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. Is it pop or soda? This one should be easy. 3, 2, 1. Pop.
Soda.
You call it soda? Or you just
I
piss me
use it.
off?
I use it interchangeably.
Oh, okay.
So, but like I'll be like, I'm down for a soda, but I'll say pop. I
mean, I have used it's like cornhole and bags. I have used soda, but like I use pop a hell of a lot more.
I just think because like when you're consuming national media, you know, they always say
They
soda.
refer to it as
It's
soda.
a fucking
Yeah.
agenda by the media.
Well, then in the South, they're like, what kind of Coke do you want?
Right, they call it
Yeah.
all Coke,
Yes.
which is
Yep.
it's kind of
I'm
like
out
a
in-
it's
what?
kind of like a Kleenex tissue type thing
Yeah.
where they're not all called Kleenexes, they're called tissue.
Yeah.
But Kleenex is such an iconic
Because
brand.
what kind of
stupid.
you can say what kind of Coke do you want, and the person will respond Sprite, and they'll be like, okay, like it's
Right.
no big deal. So
Great, hey, big dub for Coke though.
yes.
They're
have
getting constant marketing even when people are ordering other kinds
you know,
of
it's
pop.
Coke was created by a Confederacy war veteran, so
Oh.
that makes sense why the South would probably call it all
Canceled.
Coke. Yeah,
Just
oh,
like that.
nope,
They're-
they're
oh,
done.
we're
They're done.
We
just-
use the word Coke.
We just
Oh,
canceled
shit,
Coke.
We
Damn
just call
it!
it's just a different thing.
What did
instead of the
what did we
liquid
say?
kind.
All right. The next one, I know this is popular. Is it Heggies or Hedgies? 3, 2, 1.
Hedgies.
That was easy.
Oh, I thought someone was going to say Higgies.
No.
I cannot stand when people call
No,
it Higgies.
no one would
I've
call
never
it.
heard 'em.
Why would you
The
call
company
a brand
calls
that?
it Hedge. Well, my great grandpa who died at 99 called it Hedgies, so I'm taking his word for it.
Haggies sounds like you have peanut butter in your mouth and
I
you're
know.
trying to say Hedgies.
Do
It's like
people actually say Haggies?
yes, I know several people that
sounds
call
like
it
a
Higgies.
fucking STD.
It's because
does.
people didn't ever they just look at the spelling and that's what they assume.
Potato,
It's like,
I have
potato.
the
Yeah.
Haggies.
I'm going to Haggies. No, it's Hedgies.
You know, okay, if I were to see this word for the first time, though, and I wasn't from Minnesota, I'm probably saying Haggies.
Right, but I'm talking about people that are native of Minnesota.
Okay,
That I know
yeah,
grew up in
okay.
Minnesota. Like this was a debate and like a typical office debate question, water cooler discussion. Like
Yeah.
literally had this conversation when we were back in the office a few years back with Minnesotans. A guy who grew up in Alexandria, Minnesota, called it Higgies.
Now I'm starting to realize though it's a genius move to name your brand something confusing because then people talk about
They
it.
debate it, yes.
So credit to Hedgies on giving yourself
Disgusting.
a split decision type name.
Yeah, it's Hedgies. All right, is it weed or bud?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No one in here smokes weed. Allegedly.
Of course not.
Allegedly.
No one in here has called the police after eating an edible of weed. Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right.
We have allegedly not taken marijuana on this podcast.
Yeah.
Never. Allegedly.
Little
Yes, we have.
preview for next
Allegedly.
week. We may or may not be taking marijuana on next week's show.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Marijuana, allegedly. All right. Weed or bud? 3, 2, 1.
Bud.
Weed.
It's weeds.
It's bud.
I understand the whole bud thing, but I've always referred to it as weed. I've never been a massive partaker in my life.
Allegedly.
Until this point, allegedly.
Fucking nerd.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say, if you're with a bunch of stoners, you're not gonna say,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you guys want to go smoke some weed?" Like,
yeah,
there's
but-
always
but,
a
like,
slang.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all dependent upon your own specific situation, but I've
Your
always
environment.
referred to exactly the environment in which you came up in.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've always referred to it as weed.
Yeah, I feel like an old person when I was like, "Hey, you want?" If I allegedly were to say this, you want to smoke weed? I just feel like an older person.
Smoke some weed?
Mary Jane, the devil's lettuce.
The electric
reefer.
lettuce.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on all days about this.
Reefer.
Chief.
I like the term reefer. That's great. All right.
Or no, Keef.
Keith. Yeah, there you go.
Keith.
I was like,
Like Chief
Chief
Keef.
is part of the nickname of the rapper.
Chief Keef.
Sober.
All right. The next one. Water fountain or bubbler?
Oh God.
3, 2, 1. Water,
water
fountain.
fountain. So I was the one to put this question on. Apparently, in parts of Wisconsin, where
But I'm
Yep.
not from that
And
part
East
of
Coast.
Wisconsin.
Good.
You
and
can't-
New,
it's
New
more-
England
it's
too.
more
yeah.
Eastern Wisconsin.
You guys realize I lived the same culture you did.
You're
growing up.
essentially a
You're
Minnesota.
West
I was
Metro.
20 minutes from the
East
border.
Metro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do know people who call it bubbler though from the east side.
No,
Okay.
Go to the bubbler.
more of the Manitowoc to the murderer side of Wisconsin.
Yeah, the serial killer side.
Yes,
yeah.
they're bubbler people over there.
I worked with a kid from Boston. He legitimately called it bubbler, and it drove everyone fucking
There's
nuts.
no bubbles
No.
involved in it.
But it kind of No,
There's no
That sounds fucking stupid.
It's
It's
a
like-
fountain that spurts water. Like,
when I hear a bubbler, I think of like a bubble machine, like
think of weed.
like when I'm a kid.
yes, because people smoke
exactly.
weed out of bubblers.
Yeah,
Bubblers,
or
I may
literally
or
like
may
a
not have
bong
smoked
or
one out of
something.
that.
it's like when you turn on the hose to like a quarter power. Do you call that the bubbler? No, it's a slow pressure hose.
Fucking hose! It's a fountain.
Yeah, that one
Christ.
I'll never get that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, how do you pronounce the word? This word? Okay, because I would just give away how I pronounce it.
yes.
Is it caramel or caramel? 3, 2, 1.
Caramel. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
caramel.
Yeah.
It's
Caramel. I think caramel's an old person
Yeah,
thing.
you want some
Caramel?
caramel with
And if-
the
and if-
hot fudge.
And if you're older and you pronounce it as that, I'm sorry, I probably just offended you.
But you wouldn't, if someone were to say caramel, I would never be like, it's caramel. You know what I'm saying, though?
It's
Like,
not one
I
of
would-
those
I would
things-
never question.
If you're
that
one of
about
those
it.
people, I'll tell you, you don't look a day over 25.
Yeah. It's caramel. It's easier to say. It rolls off the tongue a lot easier. So
You should. I think that would piss people off too. If
I
you
feel
said
like
the
that.
Kevin bit from The Office.
I feel
Me
like
say less word.
I feel like it is caramel, but like someone said it wrong one time and it caught on.
Yeah, especially around here, right?
Yeah.
It is spelled caramel, essentially.
Right.
I don't know where the comes from. It's Carmel. It's Carmel. Oh, that was my dog's name growing up. Just put that
Rip.
together. Rip. Rest in peace. Named after Carmel, California, which I guess
Carmelo,
is a beautiful.
Yeah, but Carmelo Anthony. Like, think of all those.
Carmelo.
He's a legend.
yeah.
He just retired.
Yes. All right. I don't know if you. I'm hoping you people Everyone knows about these
Wow.
plants. You know, like
You're canceled along with Coke.
like they're like the spinning plants that we've seen. Like I remember playing with them as like kids. You'd see them outside all the time. I have 3 options here. So is it called helicopter plants, spinning jenny, or whirlybirds? All right. 3, 2, 1.
Helicopter
Plants.
plants.
Yes.
Yes.
Helicopters. Yeah.
What actual tree do those come from?
I don't know.
Do they just fall out of the sky like rain?
I'm all searching right now.
So yeah, there's a specific tree, but they're all over Minnesota all the time. like in the
God,
spring
Cam's
and
first
fall.
pick just drops them out
Yep.
of the sky.
lays a bomb of the helicopter plants on Minnesota. But yeah, I know people would call this was been kind of a debate too. Like, but I think in Minnesota we call them helicopter plants.
They're literally just called helicopter seeds that grow.
Yep.
So yeah, they're called helicopters.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know people in like the East, I think, call them like whirlybirds or spinning jennies or something.
Which
Spinning
I
jennies
can
is-
understand in
that's
a way,
weird.
but like you're right.
I could see whirlybirds, but spinning jenny, I don't know. It's kinda
What's a
weird.
Jenny?
I don't know. The woman from Forrest Gump who dies.
No,
from
she's
AIDS.
the woman who helps people. She helps people lose weight. Jenny Craig.
Yeah, you're right.
yes.
So you spin.
You eat these seeds, you lose the weight.
Yes,
It's all
magic
branding.
seeds.
Yeah.
Magic seeds.
Is she
All
Weight
right.
Watchers, or is that a whole
Yeah,
different thing?
she's
Yeah.
no Jenny Craig's its own thing.
Okay,
I think
okay.
she
Yeah.
does like workout and diet.
It's
I
literally
Okay.
like a Weight Watchers.
yeah, same.
It's similar.
I don't need it yet. All right.
yet.
Then this next one,
40 years when the
Yep.
metabolism slows down.
it'll be 40 years until then.
You
If I'm
still
not
don't look a day
alive.
over 25 if you.
No, you
got
don't,
fat.
Jake.
Oh, thank you. I just shaved, so I look like I'm 13.
No,
I
you
think
don't.
you look
No,
good.
you look.
Oh, thank you. All right. All right. The next one. Is it walking taco or taco in a bag? 3, 2, 1.
Walking taco.
I was gonna say taco in a bag.
That's what you call it?
Well,
I
no,
don't call it that.
that's-
If someone says walking taco, I'm not gonna complain.
I know what it is. Again, it's an interchangeable thing. It's just I've always known of walking taco. That's how it always is, was at grad parties that I went to.
Same, yeah.
Taco in a bag. That's usually might be some random ass. Like I think it was called a taco in a bag at my cafeteria 2 weeks.
See,
ago.
Well, see, the reason I call it taco in a bag is because we went to the Minnesota Vikings draft party, Jack and I, and they are selling them at US Bank Stadium, and they don't call them walking tacos.
Really?
They call them taco in a bag.
Here,
At Target Field, they have them, and they call them walking tacos.
it's the same bag of Doritos.
And I thought they call. Is it the walking taco bags? They say walking.
They
taco
put it
on them.
no. They just put it in like a bag of Doritos at US
Oh,
Bank.
because
just
they
a regular size
because
bag.
Doritos
Yeah,
actually
okay.
made a walking
Yeah.
taco bag for it, and they call it walking
Yeah,
taco.
so
Okay,
it's
okay.
it's kind
It
of
opens
funny.
up
but
on
it
the
depends on
side.
who the marketing person is and makes up the.
It's kind of funny
concession.
because one could be true and the other couldn't be. It's always the taco is always going to be in a bag, but sometimes you don't necessarally walk when you eat it.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never
You
fucking
could
walked
walk
while
with an
eating that
actual
stuff.
taco.
Well, here's the thing: if someone asked you to describe a walking taco, you would probably refer to it. Oh, it's just a taco in a bag, right?
It's a portable
Correct.
taco.
It's a portable. But aren't tacos portable? You put them in a shell, you
Yeah,
can walk around.
technically, but not as easy.
You could eat anything while walking though.
Sure.
You could eat Thanksgiving dinner. You could eat a
It's
sirloin
it's just
steak on
kind
the
of the
walk.
fun.
Trust
it's,
me, you
Technically,
could
yes.
eat anything
It's the
while
fun
you're
term.
walking.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, you could
I
eat
just
walking burrito.
it's the fun term for it. Okay, it's a good bit. All right, this next one. We're talking about the outside. We're not talking about inside. And this one drives me nuts. All right, we're talking outside of a house.
Okay.
Now, outside. Is it ground or floor? Like say I drop something on the ground or floor. 3, 2, 1.
Ground.
Does someone actually do that?
People say it all the
What the
fucking time.
fuck?
I've heard people say it when they're outside and they drop something on the street. Yeah, I dropped my keys on the floor. That's not the fucking floor.
No.
The floor is an interior man-made structure.
Exactly.
Have you heard people say? I've heard people say that in Minnesota. They call it the
I don't
floor.
think I've ever heard that.
Really?
No, I would. I
People-
would punch them in the face.
Yeah,
if I did.
it drives me nuts. I don't think it's as prominent in Minnesota. I think it happens definitely out east or out south or out west.
I hear it here when it's from people from out of state.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hear it at work all the time because I
Yes.
work at a hospital and I get people from all over the damn country. Oh, I lost my car keys on the floor out there. I'm like,
It's
where
not the
where-
floor.
Where the fuck is out there?
It would
on
be
the
a floor if you put a
This
building
one-
there.
Exactly.
There you go.
This one-
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interior, exterior,
Yeah,
ground.
And I think so. Yeah, again, I think in Minnesota, majority of us, if not all of us, do say, well, not all, because I have heard people in Minnesota call it floor, but I think most of us will agree it's the ground. But I have heard people call it floor, and this is the one that will drive
That's
me nuts.
like if you throw something at a mountain, you're like, oh, I hit the wall.
I know.
That's a
it doesn't
mountain.
make any sense.
Yeah.
Or like it hits the wind and I hit the wall. No, you didn't. Ah, gosh, it drives me nuts. All right, moving on.
Move on.
Move on. Sub or hoagie?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Sub. I think this is more like Nebraska.
I thought hoagies were like their own.
Yeah,
I thought so,
technically.
too.
Their own sub.
But people do call them. I did some research on this, and like down south and out east, in some places they do call subs hoagies.
You
Like
guys,
flat out subs. I'm gonna get a hoagie.
you guys ever been to a restaurant where like a server is vacuuming with like not an actual vacuum? It's like a cordless vacuum
Yeah.
that doesn't have power. Those are called hoagies.
Really? I didn't know that.
What if I ordered one and they just gave me that shit?
I used to have to use one at work all the time.
Whenever I think of hoagies, I think of, have you heard Devani's? You guys
Yeah,
know
Devani's
right?
hoagies, like the
Exactly.
pizza related. But yeah,
Yes.
some people in the country do call them
absolutely
hoagies.
loaded.
Yes, yes.
I think some people on the East Coast call them hoagies.
God, I'm in for a rude fucking awakening out east in the next couple weeks, man.
Yeah, you're going to New Jersey for a
all
few
of us
weeks
will.
here. Dude,
All
by
of
the
us
way,
would.
I saw someone was playing like a New Jersey course, like right outside of New York or whatever. Like they had to wait for their cart for 2 hours. That's how many people were playing the course.
Fuck.
Yeah, no thanks.
Just to wait for the cart.
Like I'm supposed to be playing some nice.
They had a
courses,
3
like
p.m.
West Point and shit.
Yeah, they had a 3 p.m.
God.
tee time. It got pushed to 5 o'clock because there wasn't enough carts.
There's only so much beer and range balls in the world that you could spend during that
Yeah,
time.
exactly,
God,
dude.
dude.
I'm so glad we're not golfers on the East Coast. So glad. Or
There's just more
or
people in general
In
over
California.
there,
Could you imagine
yeah.
being a golfer there? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's nicer weather. They probably have more courses there than New York, but still.
If you're at a private club, you're just good no matter where you're at. But if you're a casual middle class person like us, then yeah, you would have to deal with that shit.
Exactly.
So-
Imagine being in the Hamptons.
You'd have to
That'd be fun.
You'd have to be private. You'd have to just join a private club at that point.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Yep.
get away from the East Coast people.
I
And
love all these next
Snookies
four
and-
ones are just gonna offend British people. If
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
disgust.
I just
Fuck
threw these
'em.
on. Fuck it. All right.
Revolutionary War,
Well,
bitch.
let's run through them. They're going to be quick.
Yeah, football or soccer? 3, 2, 1.
Soccer.
Football. No, it's soccer. You're right.
Next.
Obviously. But
Next.
I'm just trying to bring these up. Field or pitch? 3, 2, 1.
Field.
Easy. Uniform or kit?
God, this one. What the
3,
fuck?
2, 1.
Uniform.
Yes, and then 0-0 or 0-0. 3, 2, 1. 0-0. The reason I think to put these on, those last four on there, was just to educate people that that's what they refer to those like terms.
Oh,
in, like,
ready?
England and
One
Europe.
more. This came from the first ever Loons update. Is it the grid or the division? 3, 2, 1. Division.
No, table.
Oh, the table.
Table,
Same
but
name.
still, yeah.
Sorry,
Same
grid
name.
is
But
racing.
division. It's division. They might call it grid somewhere.
Yeah, they
which
might.
would make no sense. What is there longitude and latitude on this thing?
They're just
Yeah.
fucked in the head. sorry.
Cripes. They're fucked in the head.
That's why we wrote the Declaration of Independence, is because we hated the way they called these soccer
We wanted
terms.
to get rid of get far away from you, commie bastards.
Fucking A. These,
Yeah.
the monarchy fucks.
Well, we hope you learned a little lesson about the way to properly say words.
We had
at
a little
least
bit of
the
debate in
Midwest.
there.
There's a little bit, but I think, it was expected that we were going to be uniform or unanimous on a lot of these.
We kept it clean.
Yeah,
but
agreement.
I mean, if there was a disagreement, we understood where the other side was coming from.
Yeah.
I was really hoping, honestly, this would have been a good bit to run. Cam would have had a disagreement on a couple of these.
For
You can just
sure.
already know. You guys all call it that? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
You know?
Okay. We didn't have like that hard of a. I think if someone disagreed on the ground and floor thing, though, I would have lost it.
I think I probably would have too, though, because
Yeah.
that one's not even like a one or the other. That just makes no sense.
Exactly. That would drive me fucking insane.
What's up, Guardsy? Come on in.
What's going on? What's going on, dude?
Yeah, okay.
All right, sounds good.
Right.
Let's wrap the segment up,
Okay,
Jake.
sounds good. Yeah, go for it. Just do the outro.
Oh yeah, right. So this was the first iteration of What's It Called?
Okay, no, let's do it again.
Presented by
Let's-
Trojan.
Let's all say it together, though. So
right.
Okay. Let's do it again. All right.
Three.
That was 3, 2, 1.
What's it called?
Presented by Trojan and
Rock Hard Home and Hardware.
Rock Hard Home and Plumbing.
And if it's not hard, we'll make it hard. And if it also, we'll clean your pipes right out.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
All right,
We gotta
folks.
have businesses.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of It's a Bit. Make sure to follow us on all socials at 10K Takes. Go to the website at 10ktakesmn.com. Register for the golf tournament. There's only, I think, a single-digit number of spots left, so make sure to sign up for that. Check out all the new merch in the store, 10ktakesmn.com. Click the shop tab. Make sure to follow all of our other shows and podcasts on the listen tab. And just thank you so much for supporting us as always, and we'll see you next week.